Well, good morning, everybody. 2 mornings in a row. What the heck? It's it's a Christmas miracle. I had some extra time today, and I knew I needed to do a little mining, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. So, it is an overcast day here in northern Michigan. There is a between the clouds, you can see a touch of blue, and it's a very very it's a chillier day, but it's a beautiful day to do a little mining in Star Citizen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning. How you doing this morning? So we're going to be doing a couple things today. Number one, Aocean very kindly gave me this link to a tool that can take you to certain bands in the Air and Halo. I'm going to monkey around with that a little bit. We're also just going to be basically heading out to the Air and Halo and doing some prospector mining and kind of going from there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. I have just, still kind of the vanilla builds. Now, I will say I have a couple of things going on here that I think is kind of cool. Number one, I did haul my second load in of Quantanium. So I'm sitting at about 2.6 mil. I'm currently kind of chipping away at the C2 Hercules. I mean, I'm not in a big hurry, but that's kind of my goal, is to kind of, get around 7 mil and pick up the Hercules. Good morning, Troll. How are you, sir? Nice to see you. And so, yeah, we're just basically going to do a pre-flight here and just kind of get after it. So, unusual day for me to stream, unusual time for me to stream, but I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of, while Xeno threat is just not happening on the server, maybe sneaking out. I don't know if we're in between a Xeno threat or what, but there has not been a Xeno threat happening on the server since I jumped on and kind of did a little hauling today. So, anyways, let's go ahead and pull the prospector, and we'll go ahead and get started.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
It'll be a little different format today. Like I said, I'm going to be using kind of a tool to kind of locate, just because I'm kind of curious how it works, how to locate the different bands in the Air and Halo. But it's not gonna seem that much different, by the time we get there. So Hangar 2, we're gonna head on up, and we'll go ahead and get started. Troll, how you been? I hope you're doing well. Hope that all of you are doing well this morning. It's just an absolutely great day to get a couple of 2, 3, 4 mining jobs in the hopper. Keep our foot on the gas, and I try and make around between $250,000 and $500,000 a day, which isn't that much, but it's here nor there. We're doing pretty good, since it's been kind of a struggle even to have a $2.5 million in the bank. I'm pretty happy with. Very early, I had to look twice to make sure this was live. Yeah, I probably should change up that thumbnail a little bit, so people don't think they're kind of getting. I've been kind of lazy on changing up that thumbnail, and I think I probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It's like, is this live or is this yesterday? So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get this lid open here, and we're gonna go from there. Yeah, it is early too. And I don't normally stream on Sunday. Sometimes I will on a Sunday evening, but very rarely on Sunday mornings. So this is I definitely snuck on this morning for sure. And like I said, I had to do a little mining, so I thought I'd just kind of bring you guys with me. All right, up we go and out of here. Now I'm gonna kind of divert to this tool here. Hey, Dipes, what's happening? How's it going, Space? I'm hoping to get in today. This 30,009 air is awful. I have a couple of jobs in the hopper I need to get delivered. I can really appreciate that, and I hope that you can get in. That is crazy. Have you kind of done like the soft character reset or whatever? That I know that it's not like a character reset like before, but have you done that kind of soft reset thing that they have on there? I haven't tried it yet, so I don't even know what it's like. So, all right. So this tool that I have, it wants to know some distances. So the first distance, let's see here. I'm going to triangulate here. So the first thing I'm going to say is HURL2 And I'm just going to pop that in here. And that distance is 583.33. 583.33. And then I'm going to say the distance to CRUL3 is... Oh, let's see here. No, I think I was wrong about that. That was my... Actually, it's... how far is it? I guess I probably need to look. Give me just a sec here. It's 15,193. Okay, so the distance to H... All right, that's going to be 15,193,527. Okay. And then let's... What I'm trying to do is I'm using this tool on the internet. Give me a sec. I'm not watching the chat for a second. CRUL3 now. Let me set a route there. Clear route, set route. And that distance is 9. Alright, hold on here. Alright, CRUL3 is 9800855. And then ARCL4's distance is 0. And I don't know how to actually get this thing to like do anything from there. This is paste location. Oh, there's a way to hit show location? Oh, I never knew that. Hold on. / show location. In the data box below. Well, hold on. I'm just looking at this. Give me a sec. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing a little triangulation. There is this website that Aocean gave me where you can, type in there, and I didn't set up a source for that. I'm just kind of seeing how this thing works. Give me just a sec. Quantum target, I guess, would be HURL2. Yeah, I don't understand how this thing works. I mean, I'm working on this tool thing. I know you can't see it. I apologize. I don't know if there's a way for me to fix that. There probably is. Hold on. It would be a different scene. Windows browser. Hold on. Let me see if I can get browser capture. And it would be this thing. And this is the thing I'm looking at. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Can you see that? Or I'm changing it up on the fly here. Hang on a sec. Let's see if you can see that or not. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there you can. See, there's this tool here. And with this tool, I can set distances. Astronomical body 1 is ARCL4's distance is 0 because I'm right at it. There's the distance to HRL2 and HRL3. Navigation band. And it just doesn't seem to be giving me the dropout distance or what's my quantum target? It's HURL. It won't let me type in a target. Exclude waypoints. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be like a way to activate this. I mean, I'm putting in the distances, but I don't seem to see a way to kind of say go or whatever. Maybe if Aocean drops on later, I can ask him about this or something. I don't know. It I guess I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. All right, so astronomical body 1, ARC-L4's distance is 0. HRL2, that's the distance. Okay. Navigation. Boom. Now it says quantum target, but it doesn't give me any drop downs or anything. Whatever. I'll have to figure that out later. We'll go ahead and just kind of do what we were going to do, which is just head over the Aaron Halo anyways. But I just was wondering if there was a way for me to kind of hit a certain band. I was just kind of curious, but like I said, I guess I just don't know how that tool works exactly. Hey, Harold, good morning. How are you doing? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the chat that closely. I was looking at that tool. Search this and download the PDF. Refinery to Aaron Halo mining routes. Oh, I definitely know like how to get into the Halo like crazy. There's that tool is supposed to tell you from anywhere in the Stanton system how to drop into, hey, Kojak, good morning. You know, hit any bands or whatever. And it just, I don't understand how that, I don't know. I put in all the, you know, all the metrics, but there's no way I can't seem to hit go or whatever, like hit calculate or whatever. So no big deal. We're going to go ahead and just get started. Harold, welcome to the channel, by the way, not a name I recognize. And I definitely like saying hi to new folks. Yeah, we're going to just go do some basic Aaron Halo prospector mining today. And like I said, I thought I would just monkey around. Maybe Aocean generally drops on the streams. When he does, I'll ask him how to use it exactly. Maybe it didn't like the 0 I had for ARC-L4 too. Oh, 319 isn't going to screw solo miners too much. Mr. Warbishop, that's a very good question. And I know one of the things, you know, on my channel, I pretty much 100% Quantanium mine. Thank you very much, Mr. Palmer. I appreciate that. You know, yeah, I mean, I Quantanium mine all the time. And so, Bish, you know, basically, I am on your team 100%. What I can tell you is as soon as 319 goes from Evocati to wave 1, as soon as I can get in after wave 1, I am going to be working overtime to try and learn all of the mechanics and try and be as active as I can on the issue council to help with that exact thing. It's very important to me that you know solo prospecting doesn't become, you know, obsolete. It's very important to me. It's my favorite thing to do in the game, you know, so I can really appreciate where you're coming from with that. So we're going to drop out at about 6.5-ish here, or 6.6, and we're just going to do a little, you know, just do what we do. Just a little bit of quant mining here. All right, there we go. Simple stuff, but nonetheless, all right. I like to kind of set my route back, as we all know. And then I switch from mouse and keyboard, or from sticks over to mouse and keyboard when I mine. So, all right, turn my velocity up a touch. Let's just go ahead and I'll first send out a 45 ping and see if there's anything right out in front of me. And then roll back to a 90. Ah, there's my first opportunity marker of the day. That is going to be a 17 hundo. We'll just go ahead and leave that guy there. I got the moly. Nice. So far, this is not as of so far. This is not a good day. What's happening, Drac? You hitting some snags? Huh, you know, I seen you kind of posted a question earlier, and I tried to help answer it a little bit. There's a 34 hundo. Let's send out a collapse ping on that guy and take a look at these guys. I'm going to long scan on this and at least get the rock icon going. There we go. And we'll approach this. Hope you can at least make it work. I like mining a lot as well. I don't mind social aspect of multi-crew. But something, well, you're not wrong, Bish. And that's exactly what it is, right? I understand. I completely understand them wanting to, to promote and have, and don't get me wrong, mole mining is one of my favorite things to do with a good crew. I'm really excited about it. But I also, I really was hoping beyond hope that they weren't going to we're going to nerf the prospector. These are not going to be Quantanium, by the way. This is going to be like some P-types. We'll keep moving. Type of thing. That wasn't the approach I was hoping they'd take. That being said, I agree with you 100%. I think, and a lot of people in my community are just, older, got people who like to mine, who like to jump on and just go do a little prospector mining. And so, it's really important to me that gameplay loop isn't completely eradicated. So I'm going to do what I can to defend it. I say hundo when I'm mining every single time. That's awesome, Harold. Yeah, the hundos. And no, we definitely have some colloquial terms that we use on the channel here that have proliferated a bit. That's really funny, Harold. All right, we got a 90-degree ping here. Hey, Dave, what's happening? What is happening that requires multi-crew? Sorry, just joined. We're talking about kind of how they talk about how two prospectors can't necessarily work together as much as they used to be able to because there's a penalty, or how they're kind of promoting multi-crew in mining with the concern being at the cost of potentially solo mining a little bit. It's just kind of a conversation, philosophical conversation about it. One day closer to D4. You're not wrong, Astro. You're not wrong. I know exactly what you're saying there. It's so funny. My mind is like that as well. I've been kind of watching all the news. I keep waiting for this announcement of some kind of a Valkyrie class, but I know that's not going to happen before launch. But it's like, come on, give me the sword and board, man. I know what you mean. Give me the holy warrior. Other than that, though, I'm really excited about it. Another 4 relogs to find a single working kiosk to retrieve my chip. Yeah, I've heard that those kiosks are acting kind of wonky from time to time. It's kind of one of the reasons why I'm staying off the beaten path as much as I can. Those are some M-types there. They're not going to work for me. But yeah, no, I got it for sure, Drac. I do. Alright, so we're just going to kind of keep on keeping on here. That's a 17 hundo in front of us. Oh, wow, we're an excessive speed going here. Let's not quite go that fast. All right. One day closer to D4. That's hilarious. That makes me laugh. You're not wrong. That's for sure. That's a great way to... And of course, I think in a couple weeks we get, there's another beta, right? So it's like I think the week of May 12th, that weekend or whatever. And that ought to be great. Hey, good morning, Grift. How you doing? What is a happening? I thought I would just... I jumped on here and I noticed that Xenothreat wasn't running. And I thought, oh boy, it might be a good time to go out and try and knock down a mining job or two. So I thought I'd drag you guys along with me. Anybody who wanted to hang out, Grift? Alright, there's 34 hundo. Let's kind of poke that guy. Got my ship, then launched. Q-drop reset itself a dozen times, spooling up. Drac, I know this is how much RAM do you have in your system? Because, I remember when I had 16 gig of RAM, that, things would just kind of do their own thing a lot. You know what I mean? Like it would... That is not Quantanium over there, by the way. I'm just kind of curious how much RAM you have. Because I definitely Like, you know, I remember when I had like just 16 gig of RAM. Like when I'd open up, say, the star chart or something, I'd have to open it up 3 or 4 times in order for it to draw. Little things like that. Got with about 10 cam from where I was going, I found out I was being shot at when my ship. Oh boy. Yeah, that doesn't sound like you can control all that. Hey, Jay. Oh, 32 gig of RAM. That's good. I just wanted to make sure you were at that level, because that's an important one. This is also not Quantanium. It's V-types. Wow, that's rare that you approach 3 doublers and they're, you know, all of them are not Quantanium, but that's okay. Rinse and repeat, right? 45-degree ping, boom, out we go. Here's a 90-degree ping, out we go. At least pings are responding, you know, relatively fast. That's a 17 hundo. That's a 17 hundo. There's another 34 hundo. Let's go ahead and approach that guy. All right, now kind of click and hold scan to get the rock icon on him. Beautiful. I'll just approach here. Yeah, I am just desperately like going to the Robert Space Industry site every day, like hoping for wave 1 for 319, just so I can just dive in. I'm really excited about it. These look like they're Quantanium. They have that look about them that I just love. All right, let's go ahead and approach these. Take a look, see if there's anything worth putting the lasers on here. Got our first catch of the day here, maybe. We'll go ahead and shoot it one time. You can tell this has got one of those diamond, one of those hand mineable nests on there. Hey, I had a thought about that too. I'm going to share with you. This is going to be probably, that's actually a mineable rock. That's a 20%. I mean, not a great one, but it's the one that you probably should mine, even though it's, you know, it's not great. But one thing I want to show you guys on this rock, right? This is, hey, Streams. Hey, it's great that you actually joined, because this is something I wanted to show, Streams, I wanted to show this with you here. Look at here, you know, like from time to time, you see these hand minables on, you know, you see these hand minables on these rocks, right? I'm wondering if we're going to get the Janonite or that really, really crazy, you know, like that, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, Streams, that crazy new, you know, golden nugget, you know, that's going to be in hand mining. Because these, I think, are hand minables. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think that's a hand mineable right there, right? That is an apherite at a mass of 0.11, at 0.11. So I think that those are hand minables. And I'm wondering if we're going to be able to get, like, from time to time, we're going to be able to find that. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Like, if you happen to stumble on one of these rocks out here that have this nest on here, and that golden rock would be in this little, you know, nugget thing. So something to keep an eye on for sure. Because I do see these, like, these fissures on the rocks from time to time. You go out quant mining and grab the hand mine stuff. Exactly, you know. So, yeah, man, that's a, you know, yeah, that's a hand mineable for sure. So, anyways, yeah, it was fun. It was a thought I had. It was a weird thought I had, like, last night. I was like, hey, I wonder if we ever seen any of those hand minables on there. I wonder if I'll see one today when I was out. So, yeah. Would it make it interesting? Yeah, exactly, Rusty. It would. It would just make it interesting. I mean, no, don't even worry about the caps. I mean, I'm that excited about it as well. You know, for sure. So, but anyways, this isn't a great rock, you guys. This is a 5, you know, this is a 20 SCU rock, but, you know, the mining gods, you know, when they hand you these, you kind of have to take them. There's just, it is over 20%, and it's a, you know, max, you know, so it's only gonna, I mean, we're gonna, like I said, struggle to get 20 SCU out of this, but we're gonna definitely. Well, and that's, you know what, Streams, you're making a perfect point. Please, please, please. I mean, I hope it's worth, like, one of the nuggets is worth, like, 250,000 or something. I mean, make it worth, you're right. Make it where you literally could walk out of a cave, like, maybe you get, like, 6 chunks of it, and it's 1.5 million. Hey, Monk, what's happening? Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, just I just hope it is something that it's a game changer. Livia, welcome to the channel. Nice to see you this morning. I think I lost 600K in refined QT to a bug. Oh, Harold, I know. People have been mentioning that they're trying to move stuff sometimes from the refinery to their ship, and it's not going in there, and occasionally it's not going in there and disappearing as well. So yeah, it is going to be rare. There's no question about it. It's going to be super rare. But I mean, you don't see those fissures on these rocks all the time. But it just was a thought I had. Yeah, it does make cave mining more exciting. Potentially, Quantanium mining now more exciting too if you look for those. Because they're on a lot, they're on at least 10-15% of them. So I wonder if there's gonna be like you're gonna find the Janolite on there one of those times. It's gonna be sweet. And just in general, I just kind of wish that they would just sneak some things, like some different new rock minables. I just want to be flying around one day and be like, what the heck is this? I've never even heard of this stuff, And then be like, whoa, this stuff's worth a fortune, or whatever. It would be so cool if they would just mix it up like that. Even if they did it like there was all of a sudden some random person just acknowledged that there was hey, I found some weird thing on Calliope, everybody come check it out, type of thing. What happens to the gem node when you blow the rock? Oh, it goes away. You need to collect the hand mineable before you blow the rock. It does explode, but I have taken those off there before. It does float, but it can float away, it can blow away super far where you can't see it anymore. But it's just one of those things. I just thought it was an interesting, it's like a thought I had, like a random thought I had last night. Dad, you need to circle the rock first, look into the Janolite before. You do. Well, that's the thing, right? You definitely, when you've decided that you're going to mine something, you probably should give it a good, thorough look to make sure there isn't one of those. And as you get close, the good news is the prospector will kind of, by default, show you the icon on there. All right. Come on, I dragged it immediately down. Warning. As soon as I got in the optimal, I was pulling her down. Would someone die if they were right next to it when I'm Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, boy. Well, that's annoying. It was fine. It ended up being fine. Alright, cool. So what do we got here? This is actually going to be halfway decent. 38%. So let's see. Once again, this rock is, we're going to be fighting to get 20 SCU on board. This isn't going to have anything in it. And we've been doing really good. I mean, we've gotten lots of unicorns lately. So, got to stay humble. That's an 83%er. So I would imagine these other two rocks won't have a lot in them. If I were to guess. Yeah, that's based on what the math in my head. That one didn't have anything. This probably won't have a whole lot in it either. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, actually, it broke, about as clean as you could expect it. I've only got to break 2 rocks, which is great. Let's go ahead and we'll get started with the 38%er first here. And it is a 900 mass, so, we'll just keep an eye on it as we kind of punch up. In it goes. Beautiful. How much have you got in game now? Oh, you mean how much money? About 2.5 mil is where I'm at. I have not played a ton. But yeah, I just hauled my second load in today. And, yeah, I got sitting at about 2.5 mil so far. You had that one really good day. Where are you at? Plus, Your satire videos have been on point streams. I mean, they are so, like, I was in tears this morning watching the one, especially when you did the VPN. I really, oh boy, that thing was a great video. I do miss my prospector. Oh, Trolley, they're not. I would say break most everything that's not 90% inert. Fair enough. I mean, you played more than me. I haven't played since November. Well, that's the thing. What's going on? Are we building energy into this guy? Oh, we are. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played a ton of. I mean, obviously, it's been hard to. I made 1.1. Yeah, you made. I knew you had that $1.1 million day. That was a good day, man. That's a solid. That's an old school dig in right there. Colin's Vacation was a banger. It was. It so much was. Well played, Drift, for sure. Drinking a little coffee this morning. It's delicious. Got a touch of hazelnut in it this morning, and it's just absolutely love it. All right, well, we got this guy on the run here. Old school hardcore. Yeah, it was. It was old. It was just like an old school, channel building. One of those old school streams of back in the day when I used to watch you stream it. And I'd go to work and you'd be streaming, and I'd get off work and you'd still be streaming, Star. And I'm like, what is this guy's got so much endurance? How did I actually do this? This guy, what the heck? Well, there's a couple hundos in there. I mean, geez, Christmas, I'm not gonna bat. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Me too, Rockman, grinding my way back to a prospector. Ray Chaser, welcome to the channel. How are you this morning? Nice to see you. So yeah, no, that's the beauty. Star Citizen does not have tons of progression in some things. It absolutely has progression in mining. I mean, you definitely can hand mine your way to an ROC your way to a prospector, and prospector your way to a mole, and every one of those levels to me is enjoyable. I like cave spelunking. I know caves are treacherous, and it's not necessarily always easy, but I absolutely adore cave spelunking and just hand mining. I think it's so much fun. I think that there could be a lot more diversity in the caves, and I think the Janelite will go a long ways towards helping some of that. But I love hand mining. I love ROC mining. I think actually, as far as a loop goes, you can't. I mean, you first of all, your planet side or moon side. Second of all, you have to get out of the ship, get onto the ROC. I mean, there's no more complete loop than. I mean, that's a great loop. And so, that's obviously super duper awesome. And then of course, how much I love prospector mining, you guys. It's my jam. For sure. Now, I told you we'd be fighting to get 20 SCU out of this, and we are. This doesn't have anything in it. This is 60, and this has 50, so we'll take the 60 first. But it did break up fairly. As far as 20%er goes, it broke up about as clean as you could expect it. So getting north of 18 SCU there is good. We're going to get this last half of this is, so we probably will break 20 SCU here just barely. Which is cool. Oh, actually, almost 21. So, yeah, that's not a bad. I mean, that ended up not being a bad run. You know me. I'm always the type of guy, if it's north, I'm not going to get too worried about it. If it's north of 20 SCU, I'm pulling it in. That's still a really good 150K right there that I made. So, best thing about rock mining is being out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, exactly. You're out on the planet or moon surface. You see the constellations above you, the heavens above you. You're on the, you're dealing with kind of the elements at the time, the sandstorms, the windstorms, the beauty of the planet. ROC mining is really one of the funnest game loops you can do in this game. My dream is figuring out how to coordinate a complex multi-crew ROC session. Ray Chaser, we've had some good success doing that in the past, using like C2s or M2s, and kind of having, the front prospectors, like prospectors going off the front, and then when you pick them up, they come up the back. You keep them orientated the same way, and so in those missions, we usually have actually prospectors breaking the rocks, and the ROCs actually scooping them. Now, that the prospector pilots have to be incredibly delicate when they, doing the braking. Now, you don't always have to do it that way either. You can always have your ROCs brake as well. But prospectors can it's interesting because they can be your scouts and locate stuff and break the rocks before, and you're just kind of running a C2 around delivering ROCs to scoop. And we've had very good success. We ran a couple of big operations, like on the North Pole around Daymar. We're doing that, So yeah, I mean, it is, it's a super fun thing, Ray. You're not wrong. Kind of theory crafting, an organizational operation. Hey, Hamma, how are you today? Nice to see you. I end up on Magda a lot when rock mining. Yeah, Magda's beautiful. You're not wrong, but I'm sure there will be better places. Well, and all this is going to change, right? We all know in 319, there's going to be, all the resources are going to shift. Who knows if the Lyria the meta is going to remain, like more than one rock? Who knows where things are going to be? It's going to be an interesting shakeup. I'm really, really excited about the 19 patch. I really am. I really want to test it a ton. So, hey, Troll, thank you for that. Smash that like button. We're already doing really good today. As you guys know, I don't advertise. I just got to jump on whenever. So the fact that any of you show up here and hang out is, to me, is always a marvel. So I appreciate you all being here this morning for sure. This is a good conversation already too. I'm really enjoying it. So, and with right now we're able to kind of sneak past, because Xenothreat doesn't seem to be running this morning, at least on this server. I'll cross my fingers. Dooley hasn't showed up yet on my on my screen. So I've been on the server here for a little over an hour, so I don't know if what's going on, but maybe they drove Xeno's back enough. Alright, we'll spool up there and get ready to go. So we'll haul this 20 in and we'll head right back out again. And we will, see what we can find. Some more, I'm definitely saving up for the C2 right now. I truly believe in my heart, you guys, that there's going to be a wipe in 319. I know that, so I'm not going that hard in the paint right now, if you will. Space Shorts, Star Streams, Marcus, Wind Channels, or so. Hey, Griff, you're not wrong. I mean, those are good places too. You're not wrong, sir. But yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting testing, and I'm really gonna make a concerted effort with the issue council, testing everything. There's a lot of stuff to test, right? You got to do kind of go to all the different planetary bodies and look around at what's there, take note of what's there. Then you have to learn all about the new mining heads and what, how those work. You have to learn about all of the new mining gadgets and how those work and what the meta is for specific porous versus non-porous and all that type of thing. So there's a huge amount of work. I've actually started kind of knocking together at least a testing. I work for a company that, we sometimes will build testing scripts for our, so it's just like, I definitely want to have kind of a game plan going into the testing. Hey, ESR, nice. I spent an hour in the Halo, not one salvage found. Yeah. I mean, were you top speed flying around? It's funny. I found a C2 yesterday in 10 minutes, and then the rest of the day I flew around and I didn't find anything. It was pretty rough. I mean, it's just not that abundant in the Halo right now. And also with the scanning offline the way that it is for it, it's definitely difficult to locate. I mean, I'm not saying you don't locate it or you can't locate it, because you certainly can, but it's not easy. I would have known my money would be wiped in 18.2. I would have had my prospect. Yeah, I hear you. They definitely threw a little bit of a curveball with the 3.18.2 non-wipe, you know, and that's okay. I mean, I don't know that it's been that playable. Mixed out speeds didn't so crash, but was all over. I gotcha. They need to allow salvage. They're back to new Babbage. There seems to be two. Well, and that's the thing, Drac. That's the big change. Like, when they finally put the SRV in the game, it's going to be such a game changer when you can haul these derelicts wherever you want to process them. You're not wrong, because you're going to be able to hang out like Port Olisar and, you know, some of these places where, you know, corpses get made, you know, where soft death happens a lot. And then you're going to be able to kind of, you know, really just send out your SRVs to go pick that stuff up. All right, let's just kind of get this guy down here. A little bit of a tough, you know, didn't necessarily stick the landing, but it wasn't bad. All right, use different war points as guides. Yes, for sure. Hey, Knots. Good morning. How are you, sir? Gaming Tribunal says, I think the only module that seems to have stayed the same was the Stampede. From a leaked note, it's going to be a big underlearning. And that's the thing. You're not wrong, Gaming, for sure. And that's why I really want to get ahead of the curve. And I think I'm going to be doing a lot of different types of content. You know, you know, and I mentioned it to you guys already. I kind of already talked to my wife a little bit about it. I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of extra hours with the 319 stuff. Just, you know, because there's lots of opportunity there for all of us to do some learning and you know, and try and be as comfortable as possible with the changes. But also, I do want to be in a position to kind of authoritatively say, like, I think this should be changed, or, you know, I truly think this is a bug because of X or Y. You know, it's important to me that, you know, we have some representation. You know, because a lot of the people who come to my... Don't get me wrong, I am 100% for multi-crew and all that stuff, but I don't think you should completely shut down solo mining either. I think there's a lot of people who find enjoyment in it, and it's, you know, I'm going to really kind of champion that as much as I can. Not in a way that kind of stymies the thoughts on multi-crew, but just kind of more... It's just supportive of the, you know, of the guy like me, you know, the 50-year-old dad who jumps on and likes to just kind of go space mining a couple times, and, you know, and then now and then has some time to hang out with some friends, you know. But it is important to me that, you know, that solo mining, you know, maintains some dignity. You know, it's not just nobody does that because you don't make any money at it, you know, type of thing. All right, well, we got our first little bit in the hopper here. And that is not a bad thing. We'll take it. We'll go ahead and get a quote on Dynix and confirm. And that's right now it looks like that's putting this at about, like, what I have right now is that's 55, 65, 75, about 74 SCU in the hopper right now. They will be thinking of us. They will. I'm not terribly worried about it, Harold. I mean, I just want to make sure, you know, that we, you know, have a thorough understanding of how things work. And really, I mean, I built my whole brand around, you know, mining. So when they make a huge mining change, I definitely, I got to dig in. Coffee in hand, breaking space rocks on a Sunday morning. Ray, you're not wrong, right? That's exactly right. I just hit 42. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that, Griff, for sure. Alright, I gotta store this guy, apparently. I'm not gonna be able to drop it. Sometimes it just doesn't say drop for some reason. I never quite understand that. Yeah, no, I'm 50. And I'll be 51 this year, actually. And I'll tell you what's weird is I don't feel 50. I think probably all sorts of people say that. But I do think 50 in the year 2022 is a whole, or 2023. I do think 50 in this year is a lot different than 50, say, at the turn of the century, around 1900 or something. I think it would be cool if you could sell the raw minerals that you don't get refined. Astro, I see what you're saying. Like, if there was a way to piecemeal it, like if you could go up in here. I agree with you 100%. I think it would be cool as if you could come in here to ore sales first, just to kind of go ahead and select your ship, sell like the garbage off of it first if you don't feel like actually refining it, and then I do wish there was a kind of a line item situation there. I'll be 48 this year, says Stroll. I hear ya. I spoke to a dev. He commended me on solo mine. Oh, awesome. Well, that's kind of cool, Harold. 44. Yeah, most of the audience here. Now, listen, you guys, the reason I'm, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I guess I need to eat another candy bar. I didn't realize that. I thought I was all nutritioned up. But hold on one sec. Finish getting my nutrition on. Hold on here one sec. One more candy bar for the win. Oh, it's not actually changing anything. All right, well, that's fine then. Yeah, that's why I thought I 100%ed. Hey, Micha, nice to see you. Hope that you're doing well today. So yeah, just so you guys know, ARC-L4, these refinery elevators don't and have never worked one time in 318 in any PTU ever. And they continue to not work. So I do like bringing my stuff to ARC-L4 right now, so I just kind of suffer through it. But it's exit to menus and into the game for me to get upstairs. That's the only way I can do it. So, and then I always run the risk of logging back on and having Dooley talking about Xeno. So, but it is what it is. It's just kind of par for the course. So back in, I immediately just go right back in. I hope that it actually takes me right back to the server I was in, and I think it's supposed to do that. But that's the only way to get upstairs besides killing myself, and I'm not that kind of dude. So yeah, so we're gonna have to do planetary surveys and look at all the different universal, like go to all the different planets. Kind of write down all the different types of things that you find on those places and what amounts and concentrates and that type of thing. And we might find like there's Quantanium is mixed with iron, in some place, so it's super dense and you actually can't do it. But then there's Quantanium is mixed with aluminum and it's not as dense and you can do it. Who knows? I mean, I'm really very interested to see like what they've done, in that capacity. That candy bar was empty calories. Yeah, that's right. Oh no, what is going on? Oh no. Can I lay back down? Oh boy. What is happening? I'm stuck. No. Alright, hold on. Let's see if we can... Yes, let's see if we can clip our way out of this trouble. Prone. Yeah, that's the one. Can I just go back into the bed? No? Oh boy, this is interesting. Gloat? Oh, try the tool again. Prone. Disagree? Anything? Welcome to my world, says Drac. That's exactly right. Alright, hold on. Can I inventory my way out of this? Like, take the backpack off for a second? Alright, hold on. I did take it off, right? I did. That happened to me, no way out, says Ham. Uh-oh. Well, I guess back to menus again? I'll try it. I don't know what else to try. All right, normally I don't like to ever go back to menus while I'm still inside the original hab. That used to be just death, so we'll see what happens. Star Citizen always likes to do Star Citizen things, so it's okay. This is why I had to relog 5 times to get out of bed today. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened to me. Yup. Harold's like, yup. Anybody who plays Star Citizen knows that's just a day in the life. Many times I make the joke like Star Citizen's like old and like that old car you own. I mean, you know that if you kind of wiggle the cigarette lighter that the windshield wipers will come on, and if you jiggle the door handle, you can get your left turn signal to work. It's really about staying within the rails, all the little tips and tricks that you learn about what not to do. We'll take it. I always like to say first world problems, I mean, it's not the end of the day. We just do this for some enjoyment and a few giggles. So hey Chris, what the shorts is going on here? I'm stuck, man. I'm stuck and I'm trying to get back in. Star Citizen is doing Star Citizen stuff. That's what's happening. Chris, how you been, man? It's nice to see you today. I snuck on 2 days in a row. All right, hold on. It looks like it wanted to stop there for a second. I don't know. It's being grumpy. I'm going to start calling the snooze. Call the snooze to relogging. Yeah. That's funny, Nats. All right, here we go again. Can I get out of bed? Holding Y. And survey says, oh, cool, I'm out. Cool. All right. And I didn't see Dooley yet either, which is always a good sign. I need to email Chris to find out if I can put this into my will, not looking like I will. You're not wrong. I definitely need to update my my will as well, and pass on the ships to my children and grandchildren. Gotta get ready for work. Have a good day. Everyone, you have a great stream. Thank you, Griff. It's good seeing you, sir. Hope that you don't work too hard today. Look at this, you guys. I'm calling elevators, but I'm not getting any. We'll wait a hot minute here. I'm good, just getting things organized for the studio remodeling. Nice, Chris. That sounds awesome. That's the biggest workaround training program of all time. Yeah, you're not wrong. You definitely, if you really wanted to have a job in QA, you definitely could just pick this up and freelance. You really can. Oh, no elevators are working. This is awesome. You got out of bed, now you can't get out of the hab. Yep, this is Star Citizen doing Star Citizen things. For sure. Hey! Now, I have learned that for whatever reason, the hab elevator sometimes will eventually show up. Not everything does that, but in this particular case, I got lucky, and I'll take it. So, Troll, you're asking for me to try that, to try the tool again. When I see Aoshin, if he jumps on, I will. I don't know how it works exactly, so got to get things set up before I get my PC. Yeah, so that's awesome. And I'm doing the same thing. I think Streams was on earlier. I know he's working on a little kind of I think he has an outbuilding that he's working on a studio with, and that's going to be really cool. And I am going to be working on a studio myself sometime here when I have a daughter who, she's been threatening to move out for quite a while. Not in a bad way. I mean, but she does, she is definitely thinking about, moving out, growing up, adulting. And when she does, I'm definitely going to snatch that room up and convert it into one of your typical kind of, have like kind of like a wall that's got a bunch of boxes on it with some cool lighting, and do the typical stuff. All right, let's see if we can kind of get any. Things are starting to slow down a little bit, but we'll take it. All right, so we're good. We'll pull Prospector 1. We'll head back out again to the Air Halo.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
What's the price difference in the game between a mole and a Prospector? Prospector's like 2.1, 2.2 Drac. The mole's 5.3 or 5.5. So it's several million. Patience is the key with this patch. Relay logic, you could not be any more accurate with that. If it's definitely, I can definitely understand, you have to be incredibly patient, and, and some people just, sometimes it's a bridge too far. I mean, it's, there are occasions where it just kind of becomes borderline whether or not it's a healthy thing to be kind of spending your time doing. And I mean that with all due respect. It can be so laggy sometimes. Hangar 2. Alright, we'll jump in there. But you're not wrong. Patience is absolutely the key of this patch. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in here and head out back over to the Halo. Yeah, I have a feeling this is starting. We were really. It was really kind of snappier about a half hour ago. I can, I'm starting to sense that lag is starting to really kick in here. We'll just, we'll make it work, but we'll see how it is when we get out to the Halo as far as opportunity markers. Yesterday I was doing like a 1001 like to a 1011 count before the opportunity markers would even show up. Post flight didn't work last time, so we'll definitely have to pre-flight this time. Give it a sec here. To recognize, yeah, there we go. And let's just kind of pull this up and make sure we're good. Cool. Yeah, I don't like it. When look at my Bulldogs, they, so I've definitely had this happen several times where, like, you don't think you need your guns. I mean, the guns are important, because you have to shoot things in order to kind of prime things. So I could power cycle all day long. It's not, they won't come back on. So this is just one of those things where I could run. I'll survive without them, but it's just. Hey, Ramoy, how are you, man? Quantanium we're doing great, so we've already pulled in about a little over 20 SCU. Coffee's delicious, little hazelnut French roast with a little hazelnut in it. So the coffee's fantastic this morning. How have you been? How are you feeling? Don't know why, but every time the first elevator I get into hangars at Orson has some random player stuck in it. Well, there's a pretty good reason for that. They'll come back after refueling on a pad. Oh, will they? All right. Are you talking about my guns? Here, I'll fly over to this pad and try and refuel and see if they come back. Just a bad server. I found the fix is just swapping. You know what? You're probably not wrong, Mass. I mean, and I definitely could switch if I need to. But I will come on over here and what? What is going on there? What the heck? That just appeared in front of me. What? What the heck? Oh, somebody's mole's having a bad day. Oh, you had a bad day. The stuff fall off your mole. Holy crap. Wow. That's rough. Oh, goodness. This game is occasionally such. You're not wrong, Ham. Exactly. There's more than meets the eye. Oh my gosh! Hey, Gavin, welcome to the channel. How are you? Oh my stars! Is that funny? All right, I'm gonna try and do a repair here and see if it's got anything for me. See if it's got any love. Yesterday it took me about an hour to find some quant due to a scanner lag. Yeah, that's happened in battery life for sure. Broke while server crashed while scooping another day. That's exactly. Suffered from post-catheter infection. Yeah, that can happen, brother. I had to pick up some antibiotics on Tuesday. I'm gonna run some blood tests. Yeah, hang in there, man. I know that you're kind of going through it. I'm keeping you in my thoughts and prayers, brother. Keep on doing exactly what you need to be doing there, sir. For sure. Ray Chase says the former mole pilot of the scenario checks out. Yeah. Some days it just don't pay to get out of bed. More than all. Hey, Rob. How you doing? Nice to see you, man. All right. Well, I've got no bulldogs here, so those are kind of important pieces of kit sometimes when you're out mining. We'll try without them, though. We'll be okay. We'll just go out. We're going to head out to the Halo without them. But anyways. Salvage anybody? Look at that. Wait, is there somebody down there? Oh, that's probably just the mining head. Yeah, it makes you wonder though, like with munching and that kind of stuff, or like with tractor beams, could you pick some of that stuff up and make hay with it? That's hilarious. I had delayed yesterday ending with the 30K, yeah. And Mastodon's not wrong. I think the key is kind of bouncing around servers till you find one that's actually being fairly okay. I was on a good one, but the problem is I have to log off to menus in order to come from the refinery to go back upstairs, and so it seemed like when I did a server hop, I got on a worse server than I was on earlier. That's okay though. Whatever. We'll have fun with it. Later today, I am making a bunch of pineapple teriyaki shish kebab that I've been marinating now for over probably the last 35 hours or so. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't do shish very often because it's kind of a, I don't know, there's kind of a lot to it. By the time you cut up everything and then marinate it and then assemble the shish and then grill them and do all that stuff. It's a lot of work. But that's what my daughter wanted for her birthday dinner, so I'm really looking forward to that. Salvaging an armistice will give you a crime stat. Yes, I know. And I understand why. I hope some of that stuff, it would be cool. Because that thing's it'd be the type of thing where I'd love for the SRV, right, to be able to come in, scoop up those parts, and then haul them, out of armistice. Because you're learning pirates. Yeah, there you go. That would be cool. I can't wait for the SRV to be able to kind of pull things out, to a spot. Yep, pineapple teriyaki shish kebab. That's exactly right. It's gonna have Vidalia onions, red, green, orange, yellow peppers. Obviously some marinated chicken, cherry tomatoes, all in the shish. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And then she also wanted some homemade mac and cheese. She had a whole agenda. Clive, how have you been, man? Nice to see you, by the way. I'm making some smoked homemade mac and cheese, chicken, and burgers. Yeah! Okay, I stopped quantum traveling a while ago. In my I thought I did. Alright, well, let's see how this goes. This is going to be interesting. If STRV can tow 2 ships, that would be nice. You can yeah, well, that's the thing, right? shits with a glaze, with a coffee glaze. Yeah, that's not, you know, that'll be all right. I'll take it. All right, how long is it going to take to get these pingbacks? Let's find out. Well, 45 is not necessarily going to fish me anything out of a barrel. What about a 90 ping? 90. Oh, there's a rock right there. Just because we happen to be floating by it. I'm going to pull out the mining laser. We'll look at it. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. It's not Quantanium. It's an M type. Fair enough. Crayfish boy. Oh yeah, I do like that kind of stuff for sure. I live in northern Michigan, so we don't do a lot of crayfish boils up this way, but I do like that kind of stuff for sure, especially if I'm, you know, in the south or whatever. Oh my stars. I might just order in doner kebab and chips for, you know, or do a fast day, since I'm not particularly hungry. You know, I definitely now, this is probably the first time, you guys, over the next couple weeks, that I don't have to travel an hour over to my parents' house. My 92-year-old grandfather's gone home for a few weeks, so we're not taking care of him. And so I am home now for the next couple weeks, not necessarily working out of the house. So I'm going to do some fasting myself. Ramon, I was just thinking it'd be nice to definitely take a few days and just kind of do a little intermittent fasting and kind of get back on track. Mustache, real life is calling. Thanks for the chill vibes. Streams, thank you for hanging out with us today. Of course, much kudos to your latest video, man. That one you dropped is just hilarious. So take care of yourself, brother, and hopefully we can hang out soon. So now it's not really a vacation in the sense, Troll. It's just that you know, I get to hang around the house a little more. But it'll feel like a vacation for sure. All right. You're getting some salutes on the way out there, Star. That's awesome, you guys. Thank you for being gracious. You know, you guys know Star has been incredibly kind to the channel here, and even as somebody who's a very small channel or whatever, he's always been incredibly gracious. Includes me in all sorts of things, and I've been lucky to be able to talk to other content creators because Star has, you know, kind of built this little community of content creators. So it's a really nice thing. I feel really blessed to be part of the Star Citizen kind of content creation community, but also just kind of, you know, just to know that there's just that level of good human out there. It's just I don't know, just puts wind in your sails. You know, it makes you feel good that there's that quality of human out there. It just makes you feel better about life in general. All right, so let's get some scanning going. This is not going to be a good rock. This is going to be some Garbola. That's going to be a blue cap for sure. And here's where the guns would come in, right? I would normally shoot the rocks, right, in order to prime this stuff, but I'm not going to be able to. So I'm going to have to switch between modes. That's the other way to do it. I don't know if you guys know. You can actually sometimes switch between modes. So this actually ended up being a great rock, you guys. Look at this one. This actually is a 4931 by 38. This is almost a 4040. So this ended up being a really nice rock, you know, fairly quickly. And so let's go ahead and get the mining on this guy. This is a great rock. So I'm going to hold down G, loosen up the laser head, and off we go. This is a potential unicorn here, depending on how it breaks. I call it vacation. We took care of a wife's dad for oh, yes. That's... Troll, then you know exactly what I'm saying. You know, and I'm not... For those of you who are regulars of the channel, I'm not saying this to curry any kind of favor. As you guys know, in September, my mom passed, and then in March, my dad passed. I took care... my sisters and I helped take care of my dad because my mom had been taking care of my dad before she passed. She was a nurse and that type of thing, and then she passed from cancer. And then my sisters and I took care of my dad You know, but you know, he definitely missed Mom a ton and just kind of, you know, checked out emotionally in the most respectful sense, because he had had a heck of a great life, you know what I mean, and it was just a pleasure to be able to spend the last 6 or months or so with him every day. You know, it was a blessing, because you don't only get to do that kind of stuff in life. So I felt very blessed to be able to take care of him. But my 92-year-old grandfather is there as well. So, hey, thank you very much, Eric. That's so kind of you. I appreciate that. That'll go right in the coffee fund, sir. So yeah, my 92-year-old grandfather has been at the house. My mom's father, and so we've been taking care of Grandpa. And so now Grandpa's going home, I think, for at least part of the summer. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, every day I've been getting up and driving an hour and a half to go over to that place and work from there, and then drive home at night. So it's going to feel like a vacation being able to stay home every day. Just kind of almost like the life I had before Mom got sick, you know. And it's no big deal, you guys. I'm not telling you any of this because I'm not trying to curry any kind of, elicit any kind of sadness or whatever. It's life. Life is both beautiful and tragic at the same time. And it was, but I just am really thankful to have had the opportunity, because had, Mom and Dad just went kind of quickly, I would not have had A, the opportunity to say goodbye, and B, just the opportunity to kind of honor them, just to be a good son and take care of them and the way that they should be taken care of, So, it's been interesting having Grandpa around. I hope it's so weird because I say, hey, I'm 50 years old, right? Well, I have to live another 42 years to be Grandpa's age. I mean, imagine that. I mean, Star Citizen might be out by then. If you can imagine such a thing. I mean, if I live to be Grandpa's age, I actually may get to play Star Citizen someday. That's the joke, anyways. So, this is pretty commonplace when you get these rocks broke, you guys. It takes a little while for them to break, so. Anyways, Eric, once again, I can't thank you enough for that. Really appreciate the coffee money this morning. It was awesome. So, appreciate that. I would not trade that time for... That's exactly right, Troll. I think that's the thing that I'm trying to say. Like, it pulled me out... Like, when Mom got... I mean, my mom had several cancers, but when my mom got sick, it pulled me out of regular adult life. And it made me more focus on what, kind of that situation, and in a good way. And, of course... when the water came over the wall and cancer finally got Mom, we were faced with this opportunity to help Dad, and to take care of Dad. And I will tell you, I would have never done those things had it not worked out the way that it did. And I'm happy, even though things, sound tragic or whatever, I'm happy with the way things worked out, just because I got so much time to, there's no question my Mom and Dad knew exactly, how we felt about him. You know what I mean? We were able to kind of do all the right things. And I feel very blessed about that. All right, so that's going to be 100% chunk right there. We're just going to go ahead and get the secondary done here. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'm home for the next few weeks. And so, bring on 319. That's kind of my point, So it would be perfect. Just hurry up and 319 it right into the... Wow. That's 20 SCU of the good stuff right there. That is 7 SCU of or 6 SCU of the good stuff right there. So between those two rocks, there's 26 there. That's awesome. So has your grandpa told you any stories about his time out in the black? I bet they didn't have prospectors in his day, and he worked for he definitely worked for RSI. No, he worked for Pontiac Motors for I think 41 years. In Michigan, it's not uncommon for people to work long times at the, that's just a 2%er there at the auto industry. My dad retired from Ford. My grandfather retired from Pontiac. Lots of people that we know retire from GM or Ford or Chrysler. In Michigan, that's a pretty common thing. So, all right, I'm not expecting a ton. Yeah, I could be wrong. There probably is some good stuff in this guy. I just got to keep poking it. Nope. All right, cool. So that's interesting. 2% there. 55% there. So, yeah, so we're in really good shape here. So we got this hundo, that hundo, and this 55, and that is definitely going to be enough if this breaks cleanly for a unicorn. We just need 1 or 2 pieces in this guy to have broke cleanly in order to have a unicorn. And it's starting to push up in there now, and it did go window warning, but I dropped down to 3%. I lost my first prospector to Quant Boom yesterday. Server wouldn't answer thrust control. I slowly hugged the station, couldn't do anything. I managed to exit. I watched the thing go boom. It was painful. And beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. No, I hear you, Eric. I mean, I yesterday landed in a hangar. I did not get an elevator door. I flew then to a pad. I did not get an elevator door. I'm like, oh no. Then I jumped back to oh no, here comes Dooley.
Any other able pilots are encouraged to join.
No. Oh no. Oh no. I hope I didn't cook that thing. Dooley, no. Motor City Madman, yeah, exactly. Dooley, how could you show up? Oh, that's just terrible. I was hoping to avoid old Dooley today. Come on, lady. Leave us alone, you know? Yeah, I saw that one. I wasn't sure you wouldn't make it. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it for sure. Honestly, I thought my goose was cooked on that. My grandmother died in the same house she had raised her children in. And I lived in that house from age 18 months to 17 years old. Isn't that awesome? Right up to the end. You know what the interesting thing that kind of struck me, Ramoyne, is how our life is, how there are certain chapters in our life. And you're not wrong. Like, I remember, when I lived in a different place, I remember all the years driving over to my grandparents' house when I was little, and just how there's that chapter is just closed, there's just, it's an interesting thing, how there are different, and chapters might go 10, 12, 15, 17 years, but they just, doors eventually do close in life, you know what I mean? And that's just, like I said, it's beautiful and tragic at the same time. And, it's just, it's why you really need to, all of us really need to make sure every single day you get out of bed, you want to be happy. And if you're not, definitely take a look at your life and figure out how you can be. If there's any way to make it so. Hey, what up, Metaphysical? How you doing, brother? Nice to see you. We're not doing too shabby right now. I think we're going to have a good one on board here for sure. We could get a uni here if we're lucky. And we'll have to see how it goes. And a wonderful funeral. Family came from far and wide. Yeah, isn't that great? We, Ramoyne, of course, I probably told you this. We're Americans, but of course of Irish descent. And so we do, in our family, we do wakes, and we had a wake for my mom. And it was, a lot of the old family came, and they were so proud of, of us, the way the kids, we handled it. It was a moment of pride, right? Because, the old family is like, hey, you guys have done a great job here with this. And, they weren't wrong. I felt like we did a really good job honoring it as well. And really celebrating life. That's the most important thing, I think, is celebrating life. All right, notice that the mining lasers, the extraction laser is not turning off. So it's one of those things you got to kind of stay vigilant about, keep an eye on it. All right, and just found my ROC after a death without a death marker. By flying and scanning, this is that's interesting, Ray. That's kind of cool. That's the one thing. Persistent entity streaming sometimes can really surprise you in a great way. It really can. There are moments. I remember I got attacked by an NPC, and then I ended up downing him, and then like his ship Soft Death, and I followed it down to the planet surface, and I actually went on board his like burning wreckage and looted like the stuff off his body, and then this is crazy good. I understand we're suffering through right now, but man, they're gonna have it dialed in at some point. It's gonna be fantastic. All right, so we're doing really well here. This is yet another nice solid. We're just north of 27 SCU, so you can see how much longer the laser's kind of hanging on after. So we just want to be discerning with the laser. We want to find hopefully the two pieces here that are. Hopefully there are some 100%ers here. Essentially. Now, when you don't have your guns, like toggling between extraction mode and the mining mode will also kind of give you the same, love, so those two didn't have anything in it, that's a good sign, right? I had my first taste of poutine at her wake. Oh, yeah. Oh, poutine. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Today it's heavy lag mining on all servers. Yes, you're not wrong. Okay, that's a 98%er. I'm hoping this guy's a hundo. Oh, it is a hundo, and it's going to be a 6 SCU hundo. That might be the one that gets us over the top. They have it dialed in by 3.19 drops on Victus Curse. Yes, that's the whole goal, isn't it? Hey, there we go. It ended up being a unicorn run. We'll take it. That is a full 32 SCU. So that is, that's very good. We'll go ahead and spool up and get out of here and see if we can't get this stuff in the hopper. Just almost convinced myself to think about melting my cutting in favor of a Freelancer Max. Well, couple things about that, Drac. Number one, don't get me wrong, the Freelancer Max is a good ship. It is a very good ship. I use the Freelancer Max myself for a lot of months. And of course, the nice thing is it has a lot more. Instead of 46 SCU, hey, thanks Clyde, thanks Drac. Instead of the 46 SCU, you have 124 SCU, I think, is what's in the Freelancer Max. The only other thing that I would mention, Drac, and I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a problem because it really hasn't been a problem yet, but, if you're flying around in a Hull A or a Raft or a Freelancer Max, it definitely says to me, from a pirate standpoint, you're cargo hauling. That's what you're doing. And so you become, the Freelancer Max to me is, I will just tell you, is a bit of a target in my mind. And a juicy one at that, because, but that would be my only word of caution. It's a fantastic ship and I love it. Today's mining was excellent, did 2 loads and I found the deposits almost immediately. Yeah, Metaphysical, I've been okay too. In the 80 minutes or so I've been streaming, I'm heading back in my second load, and this load here is I've done 50 SCU in about 80 minutes, which is not too, not great, but not horrible. You know what I mean? So, not quite 2 hours and 50 SCU. But I still have to give this back to the hopper, so we'll see how it goes. I noticed that apart from Xenothreat, there is increasing lag depending on the number of players in the server. But you're not wrong about that either. I wonder how many players are on this server, Ramoyne, right now. Yeah, there's 74 of 103, so there's a lot more wiggle room for it to get a lot laggier. It looks like. So. Good day, though. Nice day to do a little bit of mining. I'm really kind of enjoying it. I would grind a little more and get a C2 over a max. It's either that or actually, Eric, you're not wrong. I mean, the other option in between a C2 and a max is the Constellation Taurus. Max can tank a lot more than a Cuddy, but it's a tank and run ship. Yes, that's a good point. I do think that the stepping stone somewhere between the Freelancer Max and the C2 would be like your, like I said, the Constellation Taurus is another thing to think about, where the 174 SCU, but that's a tanky ship as well. SC4LE, welcome to the channel. I had a server with only 3 people for a few hours today. It felt like heaven. I bet it did. You know, that would be an amazing thing, you know, kind of late in the night to have kind of a, you know, server that's got just a couple of people on it. Kind of why I got the Corsair, 72 cargo, 6 big guns, 3 turrets. Has anybody, does anybody in the chat know, do we know, why is this mining laser out? Do we know if the C1, the new, like the C1 Spirit, is that going to fit an ROC in it? That's one question I have. Is will an ROC fit in the C1 Spirit? I'm considering getting the Cuddy Black myself. The Freelancer series are good ships, but I don't fancy advertising them or hauling. That's the thing that I'm saying. Ramon, the point you're making is a really good one, and the one that concerns me. Figure a Max will do what I want, do better than the Cuddy can, and my combat skills are well suited for a tank one tank. You know what, Drac? I flew around the Freelancer Max for months, and I loved it. So if you have if that's the ship that's caught your eye, go get it and enjoy it and have fun with it, man. I mean it. I definitely, just like any, when you tell a friend, hey man, this is my, what I think or whatever. But if it's caught your eye, man, and you think you're gonna have some fun with that thing, go get it. Don't even think twice about it. Serp says, don't think so. Serp, how you doing, man? Nice to see you, by the way. So we're, just heard first alarm. That doesn't surprise me. Things have all been a touch laggy. But we're still in really good shape. Now, we want to make sure that we kind of get this thing landed as quickly as possible. And make sure it will fill up to the point of exploding. Yeah. As I've seen people pass on fighting the Max, but no one passing on fighting the Cuddy Black. Oh, that's an interesting thought. I mean, and one I didn't really think about. I definitely would... Neither one of those ships would bother me, I think, to kind of get into it with them. It becomes more like an Andromeda. It would be the type of thing I'd start thinking twice about. 500K in so far. Nice, man. Of the ships I've looked at so far, I just plan. I like the Misk. Yes, well, I'm a Misk fanboy, Drac. I think you know that. I love Misk ships. And I know exactly what you mean there. I'm on board. Alright, let's kind of move it on in here. Can't have a bomb without a countdown and a loud beep. You're not wrong, Knots. That's so funny. You're not wrong. Alright, we're bringing this guy in here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Beautiful. Good landing. We'll take it. Get our post flight in here. Take an extra second or two. You can do it! Recognize me on the pad. There we go. Thank you. Alright, let's kind of head on out and see if we can't get this guy in the hopper. Good run, that one. And, got to cross our fingers to make sure we get a... make sure that we get a, elevator here, because we don't always, but we'll hope for the best. Right. Run. All right, let's hopefully we get an elevator. Yay. That's awesome. We'll take it. We'll get this guy put away here.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Oh, my stars. Here's a question. Does AUEC stack if you have more than one pledge on your account? I don't think so. I don't think it does. Alright, let's see if this guy transfers correctly and all this. I thought I hit store. Why does it say... Oh, okay. I was going to say, why does it say on pad? Okay, good.
Visit us again.
Let's go down and throw this unicorn in the hopper here. As soon as I can disconnect from this kind of invisible tether when you get kind of hooked up to the terminals. Sometimes you get the old invisible tether. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on down. Beautiful day so far today, man. We've this will be 50, better than 50 SEU in the hopper so far. So we're chipping away at our C2. You know, a couple of 2-3 more days of this kind of stuff, and we'll have plenty for it. A lot of times I buy the M2 as well. I mean, you know, either one of them is, you know.
Good to have you back.
Someday when the armor's in the game, I bet you I probably would maybe even prefer the M2. But, boy, I sure love that, you sure love the 699, Oh, this thing's acting grumpy. Oh, yeah, your starting AUC is different. Yeah, you're not wrong, Ramoyne. It has to also sometimes do with... Sometimes, you know, Star Citizen does events, too, and... What's going on? This is just lumpy. Beautiful. All right, so now let's see. We've got 30, 60, 70, 80, 105 SCU in the hopper right there. That's good. So around 1 million or so in the hopper. Not quite 1 million, but, you know, around there. We'll take it. Cooking in the hopper. Just trying to get a drink here. Oh, there we go. Figure to eventually build up to get an A2. Yes, A2s are so sweet. They're a heck of a good gunship, that A2. I mean, it's a really good gunship. Nat says, do you remember the oldest Dish Network commercial with the HDR DVR called in the hopper? Oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember the hopper, man. That's funny. And it seemed like like the joke that they had was always kind of like these, like people from Boston going, the hopper. I do remember that. What's the hopper? Yeah, the Boston, exactly, the Boston accent. What is going on? Am I eating any of these things? Is this... Oh, the lag is always makes it a little fun. All right. I don't think I can't seem to top off. Doesn't. Yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying. That's for sure. It's sad how, you know, I mean, marketing's so good. Years later, you know, my decrepit old mind can recall, you know, some commercial I watched like 4 times, you know, or something. It's probably, you know, probably out of sport. I bet you we love watching some kind of a football game. We probably watched it 200 times. I tried to use a trash can, Chris. Did you see that? All right, you guys. You know that the next step here is always... I always try the elevators first. They never work. And then I go back to menus. And head back upstairs that way. Because it's the only way that you actually can consistently get upstairs. This is where you play like the server gamble game. But that's okay. Yeah, we got to do it. You've got to... these elevator doors don't work on Arc L4. So... And there is a million issue council things in there about that. So we'll go. Hey, Mabutu, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. How have you been? I was just thinking about you the other day. I was wanting to say something to you, but I can't remember what it is now. Hope that you're doing well. All right, so we just finished another unicorn run. So we, you know, always, whenever we get unis in the hopper, we've got to be, you know, it's a celebration. That's 275,000 plus right there. Okay.
Attention, pilots. This is Rowena Dooley at the Advocacy. The Navy had combat support against Xeno threat. Contact me if you're available to help. Signing off.
Duly noted. That was that was dumb. We're having a good time this morning. Good times. By the way, you guys, 35 likes already, and I haven't even asked yet or said thank you for them. So thank you so much for the 35 likes this morning. It really does mean a lot to me. And as you guys know, 319, I'm going to be doing just looking forward to doing tons of content for the new mining changes as soon as I can get in there. So let's do a little pre-flight here. I am well, and it's nice to be thought of. Yeah, no, I was. I can't remember what it was though. I wanted to ask. Was it something I wanted to ask you, or I just can't remember what it was. But you definitely were on my mind, sir. I'm doing really well. You know, it's a little bit overcast here in northern Michigan today. It's a little chilly. I would say it's like 45 degrees, so it's a beautiful day to do some mining. The servers have been... Star Citizen's been doing Star Citizen things, but we're just fine with it. I'll need you in chat to help me get things set up when I get into SC. I know Chris, I am going to be dancing a jig the day that you're ready to get set up in Star Citizen. So you just let me know when that day comes, sir, and we'll have some fun with it. We'll have a big celebration. I'm really looking forward to you coming on board. It will be great. It will be great. Something to celebrate. Considering Chris, when you figure about where you started, when you and I first started kind of chatting with each other to where you're at now, and what a tremendous difference in life, right? You know, it's such a much better place. Do you take any mining gadgets with you, Zohar? Excellent question. If I were headed to, generally speaking, Zohar, I think it's always a good idea to have a bore max and a wave shift and those things on board your ship. I do think a well-stocked prospector should have those things. Now, that being said, do I have those things right now? I don't, Zohar, because I know I'm just headed out to the air in Halo, and I'm just doing a little Halo solo mining. But if I was definitely going to be doing some Lyria mining, and especially if I knew I was going to be, being in a situation where I could run into the size rocks that I could not handle with the prospector, having a bore max and a wave shift, those types of things could. It's that 6,200, 6,300, 6,400 mass rock that you just couldn't do with the Lancet MH1, which would make that a good thing to have. So the issue council is not ChatGPT. Yeah. I know what you mean, Rule. That's so funny. But no, excellent question, Zohar, truly. I mean, I think in a perfect world, like, I would like to, I can't find any right now, but even like, I should have a rail gun, and I should have some other things kind of with me. All right, come on. All right, there's the engines. Oh. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with the bulldogs on this thing.
Weapon system off. Weapon systems on.
I mean, are they on the ship? Are they physically not being drawn on the ship? Oh, I wonder if... No, they're there. Huh. I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to do one thing. I think I might do it right now, too. I'm going to turn off the engines. I'm going to go pull the bulldogs. I'm going to store the ship. I'm going to pull the bulldogs off, and I'm going to put them back on and see if that just kind of fixes it. They're acting... I would really like that. I mean... It's a lot easier when you have your guns, because those actually trigger scanning things. And it would be nice if that trunk on the prospector could be a rack for things like mining modules. I agree 100%. And I think some of you may not know this, and I'll show you this. What Mobutu is talking about is back here on the prospector, there's this weird like thing that drops down, like, and we don't like... I don't know what the thing's for, and I don't know. It's like, what is this thing? You don't know, so it would be cool. Like, I agree 100% if that like held some kind of a storage box, or Mobutu. My joke has always been, I wish I could hook a rock, an ROC onto this and carry it around with me. I know that's a bridge too far, but it was always the joke I was making. Yeah, I had the same issue on guns of the prospector. Wait, why would you need a railgun? Well, eventually I want a railgun more in my Taurus, I think, Ramoyne. Just to kind of hold off, if you get into a situation where you get soft death, you can actually surprise somebody with a railgun. My prospector wouldn't turn them on either, No Res says. So I'm going to try, you guys, to do something just to kind of mitigate that, because
To the ASOP retrieval system.
I am going to just pull them off there for a second. I'm going to store the prospector. I'm going to pull them off the prospector and put them back on, then pull it and see if that fixes it. I'm not expecting it to, but maybe it will. You got to try something. I don't want to just go out there every time and have it not work. So we'll store it first. I logged in off in front of an 8.5 ton, 45% quant, waiting for a friend to bring his mold. Nice. You can do the same trick as the gun by turning the ship off. Does the same thing as shooting the rock. Yeah, Eric, you can also toggle between extraction mode and mining mode, and it works the same as the gun as well. Thanks for the info. Next time I'll try the Halo Solo. Yeah, no, the Halo Solo is really the place where you want to be solo prospecting right now. I mean, it's kind of unparalleled. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Lyria. Lyria is fantastic, too. But the anonymity that you get. So anyways, let's go ahead and pull those off of the prospector real quick. All right. Well, nothing's... Star Citizen quick. I shouldn't say real quick. Whatever Star Citizen quick there is, we'll do it. Okay. The good news is this gives me the opportunity to sip coffee, though, right? Yum, so good. Self-defense in a boarding situation. That's exactly right. All right. Just kind of waiting for things to render here. Okay, we'll try it again. I was doing Leary until I started watching you. Now I only do... Well, I mean, really, there's just... The Halo is just such an easy run, you know? I mean, and there's no... You know, you're definitely... You have the anonymity. The things that I like about the Halo for solo prospecting are really simple. Number one, no rock's bigger than 5122. You never lose any bit of your rock underneath any geometry. It doesn't fall below the geometry. That's an important thing. And then, of course, the anonymity. And that's the most important part of it for me, is the anonymity here. Is being out there on my own. You know, and that's how I... and I mean, I ultimately do think it's faster as well. I mean, I don't disagree. But if I was playing in any kind of a group mining situation, it would definitely be on Lyria. For sure. Come on. Will you just show me my ship, please? There, loadout manager. Today. Oh, loadout manager, you're killing me. All I want to do is pull these things off here for 2 seconds. And I don't, you know, the thing is, I was just wanting to just kind of come down here and try this. I didn't realize it was gonna run into the snag here. Where I guess I'll just leave it here for a minute or two and see if it eventually does. Oh my goodness. Now, tell you what, probably the simplest solution to this is to just pull Prospector 3 or Prospector 2, but I can't see what's on Prospector 2, like if I need any more brands or whatever. But I probably am fine with it. I mean, you know, even if I was down a branch or two, I'm flush with brands on things. All right, I'll just pull Prospector 2 and see if the guns are working on that one.
Welcome to the
Because
ASOP vehicle retrieval
doesn't look
system.
like the vehicle equipment manager wants to show me anything. Hey, Grump, what's happening, man? Nice to see you. How you doing, sir? Hope that you're doing well. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and pull Prospector 2. We'll see if the guns are working on Prospector 2. I actually only own one MISC ship. That is the Hull A. I also own the CO Nomad, Aurora MR, Drake Mule, Drake Cutter, and a Drake Dragonfly. All those I like. I mean, and I really like the Hull A. I do. I as much as,
Vehicle has been delivered.
despite myself, you know what I mean? I really do like the Hull A lot. I think it's a great ship. I love the external cargo. This secret tether there that, you know, when you get kind of lost in the sauce with the latency. It's crazy. Let's see. CO Nomad. I love the Nomad for ROC mining specifically. The Aurora MR is a good ship. Drake Mule, I've never even drove one of those yet. I've always thought to myself with the Mule, what is going on here? I do like the fact that it can zero turn and that it's really tiny. Of course, the Cutter's a great ship. I like the Cutter. And the Dragonfly is, you know, serves a good purpose. Control panel on the back of the Prospectors are for the future of mining laudable asteroids. Dig straight out. Yeah, could be for sure. Could be for sure, Chris. Alright, we're climbing in the seat here. Eventually. I'm going to go ahead and hit I. And yeah, look at these bulldogs also just decide, you know, like all bulldogs on two different prospectors have decided not to work all of a sudden. It's fine though, as long as I have Brants, we'll make it work. Not even worried about it. I was hoping that maybe I could pull them off and, you know, put them back on, but you know, you can see how Star Citizen's doing Star Citizen things, and it doesn't want me to right now. And that's okay. So far, about 50 SEU in the hopper, can't complain. Hey, Space, had a lot of luck in the Halo today using full speed method. Took me 30 minutes to find the first C2. Then found another after I stripped that one in about 10 minutes in the Reclaimer. Wow, that's really good, Sharp. Yesterday, I found a C2 in about 10 minutes, but then I spent an hour flying around again, and I could not find another one. So, I definitely still think that's a good method. But, you know, it's one of those things where I think if I knew I was going to be doing a ton of salvage that day, I would absolutely grab a delivery box so I could mark them and so I could return back to the ones, you know. But I suppose if you were in a Reclaimer, you probably could almost chew up most of a C2, right? And at one time, I mean, probably all of it, you know, I mean. Yeah, maybe it is an Armistice glitch, Mabuchi. You're probably not wrong. Would have stayed out, but real life got in the way. Yeah, I can appreciate that. For sure. I can definitely appreciate that. All right, back on our way out to the Halo. And like I said, I've got about 2.6 million now. I've got about $1 million worth in the hopper right now. You know, and I am saving up myself for a C2. That is my goal. I probably won't buy the C2 right at, I think, what are they, 4.5 or 5.1 or something. I probably will get 6 or 7, you know, have a couple million buffer before I actually buy it. I definitely never like to buy into something and be just kind of flat broke after that. But other than that, that's really the only ship I feel like I need. Couple of wants. I always like having a 135C. That's my favorite scout ship. I really like the 315P. I usually buy one of those as well, just because I want the tractor beams to work someday. I love the Terrapin. I'll usually buy that. It's completely unnecessary, but you know, even though I'm considering another Drake ship, the Buddy Black, I am open to the idea of another Mistship toss-up between Prospector and Freelancer. Yeah, well, that's Prospector all day long for me, Ramon. You know, that's the one ship I definitely recommend. I thought modules were gone when you claimed the Prospector, but I claimed one and got the filters. Modules like, yeah, they've been actually persistent, Eric. That's been a good thing. How much would a full C2 of refined quant be worth? It's like 4.5 million. It's something crazy like that, if I recall. It seems like I've hauled one in before and it was like 4.5 mil, like around there, Serp. But basically, it's 6,900, right? Ooh, I think I went too far, you guys. We'll see what happens, but I hit the button, but it's not stopping. Oh, well, at least I'm in the Halo. So, yeah, I mean, it is, you know, I think it's like, wouldn't that be like 69? Yeah, I love the Terrapin too, Mabutu, I do, right? So let me just do a quick bit of math for you. I think it would be 69. It's got to be that times 88. I think it's actually around 6 million, I think, is what it actually is. I think the one that I had, it wasn't full Serp, but when I took it in, it had about 4.5. But I think it's around 6 million, now that I'm starting to do some math. Looking at it. I mean, it's a lot. And it's one of those things where it's a little bit of a, you know, you definitely, your heart is pounding when you're hauling that much Quantanium. I mean, and you're just like, please no 30K, please, no, none of this. You know, it's one of those things, you know, a lot of times, I mean, I will break up, I would rather do three Taurus runs to one C2 run, just because of the fact that each one's going to be a couple million or whatever. And then if I happen to lose one, then I'm you know, I didn't lose it all. You know, I didn't lose a couple weeks worth of mine. You know, so. But you know, it can. You know, it's a thing. It's going to be really interesting to see with 419 how they talked about doing this rebalance and you know of you know the other things and that type of thing. That's weird. Oh, am I still headed for? Oh, I am. I didn't actually reset my marker here. You're correct about the 6 million. Yeah, it took me a minute. I remember hauling a C2. 4.5 million is the most I ever hauled a C2 in with. And I'll tell you guys a funny story. You know, when I was back when I was in the Spectre Fleet org, you know, I was, of course, you know, did a lot of hauling and that type of thing, and hauled a lot of refined Quantanium. And I always preach to people, you really should break up your loads. You know, don't take much more than a Freelancer Max. Don't take much more than a Constellation Taurus. And the one time that I loaded up my C2, and it all worked out, but I literally, you know, kind of broke my own rule and had a whole bunch of, like 400 or 500 SCU or something of Quantanium. I threw it on my C2. I kid you not. I came out of the hangar. I hit hyperspace, hit quantum drive, and immediately my ship flew off without me and left me in space. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just lost all that Quantanium. But at the time, what I did is I actually just went back to menus and came back, and it was like I never left. It was like I got so lucky. When I totally did not practice what I preached right there, and then I got myself over my skis. Well, I'm not getting a whole lot of pings here. I wonder what's going on. It's definitely one of those moments where it's... Ah, there we go. Alright, that's 17 hundo. We'll keep on keeping on. Hey, there's another... What's this guy down here? 17 hundo. And this guy here. 17. Cool. Alright. Yeah, little things you learn along the way, you know, it's kind of funny in that capacity. For the longest time, you know, I didn't realize you could do a second quantum into the stations. Like, I would quantum and I'd be like 70 away and coming in on a rail with my Quantanium. And then the first time I was on a ship and a guy like did second quantum to get closer, I was like, what? Dude, I've been flying in every time from like 70. So from that point forward, Quantanium mining never scared me again. So funny. It's that Murphy's Law moment. Exactly, Mabutu. I've done several full quant in the past. Well, and that's the thing. I think there are definitely times, there are more stable times, Clive, when you feel more comfortable doing it, for sure. These are not Quantanium. Oh, it's an E-type. Alright, what do we got here? 17... 51. We do not approach 5100. They're never Quantanium. And we'll keep on heading in here. Got the old 90 pop here. Alright. Another 5100. Those do run. They do run streaky. Well, usually when I see a 5100, shortly after I'll see another 5100. But they just, it's always fool's gold. Don't go after it. It's never Quantanium. Here, Palmer says, I didn't know you could press left click and hold over a year. I clicked, then clicked again and again. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, that's... Like, when you like, do a drink or whatever. No, I've had a couple people, like, when I do, like, when I chug a drink, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you could do that. Or little things, you know. That's the one thing I've appreciated about Star Citizen, is kind of honestly, is that, you know, it's not always just, you know, you run and your running goes, like, up another skill point. You know, a lot of it is just kind of, you've played and you've endured and you've kind of learned what to do and what not to do. You know, it's one of those kind of things. I don't think this is Quantanium here, but we'll... Nope, it's not. We're actually headed towards these two rocks over this way. Those are definitely have the telltale sign that I'm looking for. Some Q types there. Uh-oh. Yeah, I had to kind of do a little dance to get around him. I was coming in hot. All right, let's put the sun at our back again, because that's how we like it. All right, and then we'll just kind of settle on in here. Now, like I said, we don't have our guns, so now it's just a question of kind of switching between mining mode and extraction mode, and that actually kind of forces it. That's only an 11%er, so nothing to write home about there.
Extraction on. Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on.
22%er, huh?
On.
Well, that's something you really gotta mind, right? I mean, that's just the way it goes. That is gonna be, you know, probably another kind of a struggle to get 20 SCU. But I'll tell you, you know, when you run across these rocks, you have to mine them. One of those things. I'm not gonna go, you know, not gonna go look for something bigger because you don't know if you're gonna get it or not, or how long it will take. So when 20 SCU is around that breaking point where I think to myself, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and, even though it's only going to be around 20 SCU, yeah. Gotta. So I wonder what alien ships are going to, you know, I wonder if the Santaki Eye is going to make it out this year, you guys. I am kind of curious about that. I'm really looking forward to the Misk Fury to see what's going on with that light fighter, the Misk light fighter. And hopefully it's you know, it's tough, and it's, you know, it's somewhere around at least the Arrow or the Gladius meta. Harold, you're exactly right. When you pass that up, you get the mining gods just get grumpy with you. And so there have been many times where I passed up like an 18 or 20%er, and then 47 minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just take the 17%er. You know, I can't find anything. I should have just took that one way a long time ago. You know. So yes, you're the mining gods. They frown on you if you don't kind of take this rock. Does Toby Eye Tracker Head Tracker 5 work in SC? It does, absolutely. And it's you know, Clive. A lot of people swear by it. I mean, and you can watch a lot of content creators when they're flying around. They're just they're moving their head left or right. And you can kind of watch how that reacts on, you know, like if you look at like a guy like the Dark Law or somebody. I have not invested in any head tracking stuff, but I definitely feel like I should at some point. I want to get pedals. I want to get, you know, stuff, but I've got a few other things. I got to get the studio set up first. I got to get the two PC stream working so I can capture some 4K stuff. Yeah, but I 100% love the idea of an eye tracker piece, and I'd love to try those out one of these times. I really like to try out some alternative. I use mouse and keyboard to mine, and I'm super comfortable with it. But I think it would be fun to kind of have some other bits and bobs to try and mess around with, you know, as far as articulating the laser intensity and that kind of stuff. It warned, but I was out of there pretty quickly. Pretty par for the course nowadays. Like, you can sometimes be down around 25% and still pushing up into the overcharge. And then it will fall out if you're... Alright, so you got to be careful. You got to know to turn your laser off for sure. You know, I don't expect a lot of this to have broken up terribly nicely, but we'll have to see. I've gotten lucky in the past. That probably has 30 or 40% in it. Oh, almost 70. That's good. Question is, how many of these rocks do we have to break, right? That's the thing.
Extraction mode on. Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on. Fracturing mode on.
Alright, that has nothing in it. And I'm kind of toggling between mining mode and extraction mode to kind of prime the scanning, because that's just kind of the only way that it will work. Cool. All right, so this did break up at least pretty concentrated. 2 big pieces with nothing in it's a good sign.
Extraction mode on. Fracturing mode on.
That's gonna, probably another 50. Yeah, I was gonna say that seemed like that's around 50% as well. This doesn't look like it has anything in it. What about this guy?
Extraction mode on.
All right, nothing. Okay, cool. All right, so we have one with about 50% there. That's got nothing. That's got 67%. That's got nothing, and that's got nothing. And let me just gonna kind of articulate around it, just make sure that there aren't any other rocks floating in here. Doesn't look like it at all. So you got that 67%er. All right. And that 50%er. All right, we'll break this 50%er first. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Infinite loading. Hey Stan, how you doing? You got the infinite loading screen? I can appreciate that. I definitely have. A lot of people have been saying that they're hitting some snags, getting logged on. All right, I'm gonna go back up to 15% and push it in again. There we go. Now down to 11. Now down to 8. Same. I just had to end the task. I gotcha. Good morning. How are you, man? Good to see you. Hope you're well, Stan. How have you been? I like the challenge. Fair enough, Harold. That's funny. All right, you got to turn off the laser yourself, by the way, you guys. It's, see how that, it will hang out. I mean, it will, see how it cooked an extra rock there? Because it's, it's staying on when it shouldn't. The lag is definitely, can cause that, that to happen. I just want to haul Quan. Fair enough, Stan. I really do look forward to the day where I might be able to just say, hey, if you want to haul this, you haul it in, and I'll sell it to you at a cut rate if you do the hauling. Where everybody could make a little profit on it. That'd be awesome. Gotta say that tip about the laser is life-saving. Appreciate that for sure. You gotta turn that laser off right away. I mean, wife had another surgery, another long recovery for her, but hanging in there. Stan, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for saying something. I'll keep her in my thoughts. And all you can do in that situation is just, is be the caregiver that you would want for, and I'm sure you're doing it, that you would want if you were in that situation, I know, I had a surgery a couple of years ago, and my wife took such good care of me. That's when you got lucky, you got real lucky in that situation. All right, so this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to do a lot of looking at a lot of different rocks here, right, you guys? Because this is, and we're going to have to toggle between mining mode and scanning, extraction mode and mining mode a lot. In order, there's a hundo. That's good. Thank you for saying, yeah, it means, I appreciate that. No, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Certainly, we've had our fair share of, family struggles this year as well, and and challenges, and you know, it's just one of those things, man. Just every day is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. This is an interesting situation here without any word on the new mystery ship being released, the Mira or something like that. Yeah, they did talk about like a variant called the Mirror or Mira. You're not wrong. I haven't heard much more about it, but no, you know, I know what you're talking about. And I haven't heard much more about it either. It is going to be interesting to see. Man, I really wish they'd get the SRV done. And I don't know if you guys have kind of heard me kind of hinting at that. I really, really think that that's going to be such an important game-changing ship. Getting that tech into me is one of the more important things they could do. Hey, there's a hundo. And there's a hundo. Soon. Yes, soon, exactly. Alright, what do we got here? Alright, and that's just a bit piece, and that's just a bit piece. Just trying to scan it all before I kind of, I want to prioritize the 100%ers here. I hope it's a two-seater mining ship. Probably not. Oh, Stan, you're like right after my own heart. I was really hoping this last time they were talking about a mining ship that they were gonna have something like that. So, all right, hold on. All right, let's start extracting here. And we knew we were going to be struggling to get 20 SCU in this rock, but you got to do it because it's, it's right around that amount. And see how like the laser kept going there? I know this is a hundo here. All right. And there's a hundo there. All right, that's 14 SCU of the good stuff already. That's good. That's not bad. We're further along than I expected to be. There's an 81%er. We'll grab that guy next. No, Stan, I know exactly what you mean. I definitely wanted the two-person, mining ship for sure. The one that gets around 60 SCU as 2 seats would be fantastic. Hey, there's a piece there I missed. Ah, 100% barrel. Didn't have anything in it. Alright, so I don't know if that's going to get us quite to 20 or not. So we're going to be just shy of 20. But, well, no, it is. We did. We broke 20. Oh, we almost broke 21. So that's what I expected in this rock, was around 20 SCU. That was the quick math in my head. I don't think there's anything else worth pulling in here at all. If any of this even had like a high concentration of borate or something, I might, but it doesn't. So let's go ahead and we'll kind of pull this guy back and head on in. Beautiful day today doing some mining. This is our 3rd run. We've had we had 1 unicorn and a couple of 20s or so. And, yeah, absolutely worth it. Yep, you've got to... Anytime it's 20 SCU, you've got to do it. I mean, that's still, that's a lot of money, actually. That's still, that's north of 150K. So it's not like it's a little bit of money. It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So, I mean, as far as as far as it goes. $44 likes, you guys. Really do appreciate that. I've had some new faces today. It's been great. Really enjoying today. Some new subs, and that's awesome as well. And a little bit of coffee money. That's awesome. Oh my god, totally locked out of SC currently. Won't stop me from trying, though. Yeah, some people have been saying they've been getting like a 40K or something, Harold, and it won't let them in. They really need to get that part of it fixed, the whole can't log in thing. I'm sure... Captain Obvious, right? I mean, over here. That capacity. In we go. This is going to be another nice run. We're about to come out of first quantum. We'll definitely hear first alarm before we're anywhere near the pad. And that's because, you know, it just took a little while to kind of scan through all that stuff. None of the guns seem to be working on any of the prospectors. I think it was a 600K QT bug out. Pure speculation. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Now I'm starting to get the kind of the cash around where I definitely need to take and go pick up an Atlas drive or go pick up a VK00 and start kind of kitting out my stuff as well. You know, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe put an FLTR-XL on there and a couple brands. Or, you know, set up the second prospector with 2 VAU XC3s and 1 Rieger C3. Just start kind of... Now that we're starting to make a little money, I think we can get around the corner and start maybe, like I said, also like with the Constellation Taurus, I'd like to have some rail guns and some other things, you know, just some other just kind of good kit in order to help kind of, you know, stave off a pirate attack if I ever get one. Oh, Doe, yeah, Doe fixed my login issues by using a VPN to Europe. Let me ask you a question, Doe. After you did that, the one time and you were able to log in, were you then able to not use the VPN? And then log in after that? Or how did that work? Did you always have to use the VPN at that point? Oh boy, I did stop that. I did click it a second time because it was so laggy. I didn't think it went the first time. You can see that stuff's coming back to haunt me here. Or did you always just have to use the VPN to Europe after that, though? Pretty much from that point forward. I just wonder if, like, if you logged in one time, if it solved your issue. Just you could then log in without the VPN. It's getting laggier for sure. Harold says, I live near CIG. Nice.
Quantum travel complete.
Alright. We're going to bring her in hot here. Drop the gear, lower the VTOLs.
They be back and are threatening the safety of the whole system.
Landing gear
Check the
down.
listing in the contract manager for details. Dooley out.
Oh, Dooley. You guys are constantly getting Xeno-threaded, Dooley. You know, it was weird. Remember when they did the events before, but they, like, you know, had them, like, I don't recall them ever running them back to back to back to back like this all the time. You know, normally like they had them like a couple times a day. Was able to not use VPN after one login. That's interesting as heck. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Alright, called for okay, I was gonna say I called for a landing, but I didn't see the landing pad yet. Well, here it comes. Yeah, that's crazy, though. That I mean, you would use the VPN, and then from that point forward, you didn't have to use it anymore, but it fixed your login issue. That is, it's a weird like DNS caching type thing. It makes it seem like. So the 600K QT boxes are there in my freelancer, but Arc 1 can't see it. Oh dear. All right. We'll take it. We will take it. I tried rock mining last night. SC would not let us retrieve the rock from the mining stations at all. Hoped it works well today. Yeah, that's I've definitely heard of some snags along those lines for sure. Live. I don't want to. Alright, we'll just kind of... The boxes can't be teleported with my gun thing. Yeah, it's probably because you're in an armistice zone. It won't let you do it. Looks like they are bugged graphically in my ship. Looks like they are bugged graphically in my ship, but aren't there. Huh. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. You might try, though, to fly it to someplace else and see if it does recognize them. The other thing with them being on your ship, Harold, I suppose you could go back to menus and see if it kind of cleans it out or fixes it as well. But I might, if I were you before you did that, try to go someplace else first. It's funny, we're all just kind of working together on the snags that all of us hit individually. Gotta talk each other through them as much as we can, right? Doing that now, yeah, it's a smart thing to do, man. Alright, we're gonna store this guy. Clive, I at least am going to do one more trip out. At the very least, I'm going one more time, and depending on how fast that one goes, maybe two. But absolutely at least one more. I've got about... I think this will put me at about 70 SCU that I've done today. I've done it every patch that's 317. It works the first time. Yeah, well, it's a really good point, you know, like, Joe, and I'll do a better job when people say they can't log in at mentioning it. 2 more days of XT, but I doubt that's the issue, like they claim. Mash, you're probably not wrong. I almost wonder, it's so weird that you should say that, because part of me wondered if they knew there was an underlying issue, but they knew if they ran Xenothreat, it would get blamed. You know, maybe it's not Xenothreat would have maybe exposed the fact that it's not working as good as they hoped. Right? So, you know, you hate to be that so glass is half empty about it, though, right? You know? It's the old Pink Floyd versus Van Halen type thing. You know? got there? Nothing in that prospector. What about this one? Yes, there we go. There's our 2100. We'll Dynex solve that guy. Boom, got quote, confirm, and off we go. So these are the 3 runs we've done today. Basically 20, 40. And the reason I say that is because I have the 30-40 here. So I'm just kind of borrowing the 40 to get the 18 out here and the 5 there. So 20, 40, 70 SCU so far we pulled out of the hopper, put in the hopper today, which is pretty good money, not terrible at all. I've had the invisible tether going there for a hot minute. Only one or two I'm still in the reclaimer. Oh, gotcha, sir. All right, let's play this game again. Get a drink. It's just what it is at this point. All of the 318 so far is going off unproven. Yeah, you're exactly, Bass. I see exactly what you're saying there. Mr. Moneybags. Oh, heavens, Astro. I've definitely gotten a little lucky. But as you guys can see, it's not... doesn't want me to get a drink here. Let me drink. I'll sit here for a good 30 seconds, and there we go. Alright, didn't seem like that affected anything. I can drop it, though. Chris will love that. And then... let's grab a candy bar here. Cool. And up it goes, and we can tag that guy. Yeah, I don't know why it's not necessarily registering. All right, back to menus one last time here, or maybe not the last time, but yeah, no, Juan Carlos, they are. They're incredibly laggy. They've been incredibly laggy, and part of it is because just 3.18.2 is laggy, and part of it is because we think, we speculate it has a little bit to do with Xenothreat. And I definitely will tell you, Xenothreat was not running earlier, and the server was much happier and snappier. And then Xenothreat, I could tell the server was starting to slow down and getting a little grumpier, and then all of a sudden Xenothreat started. So, it's here nor there. It's a little bit laggy for sure. Yeah, that answers that, exactly. They definitely have gotten slower since Xenothreat kind of started. It's not unplayable, though. I put 70 SCU in the hopper already today. So it's not, I've done 3 runs in a little over 2 hours. So, it's, 30 and 220s. If I can get out there and get one more 30 run, I will put 100 SCU in the hopper today, which will bring me to around a couple of 100 SCU in the hopper. So it's not like you can't make money. You definitely can, but it's slow going. And there's definitely lots and lots of little workaroundy things you got to do. Oh, now I'm stuck in the bed here like this, so this means I've got to go back to menu. That has happened to me now a couple times. When you first sit up and you're stuck like that, you're kind of stuck like that. You just got to go back to menus and log back in. Last 6 strips I took nothing would scan. Oh, wow. Now that I have not had the nothing would scan thing at all in a long time took. Since 3.18.2, but yeah, that's, that would definitely be a server issue. By the way, you guys, I want to thank you for the 44 likes. That's awesome. Hey, again, the new mining changes weren't put into place, right? No, Chris, you're exactly right. They're in 4.19. You know, pardon me, they're in 319 and we're in 318.2. They're in what's called Evocati, Chris, which is like, you know, kind of a small group of testers. And then it'll eventually hit wave 1. And when it hits wave 1, I'll be able to do some of that. What's the armor that I wear? It's called the Errol Grey Cat. Oh boy. Stuck again here. Hold on, I've got to go back to menus and just kind of keep menuing in and out here until I can get out of bed. But yeah, the Errol Grey Cat armor. And if you type an exclamation point yellow, Ramoyne, into the channel, it will talk about it a little bit. I even left after the ship came at 45, I forgot. Hey, Ocean, there you are. Let make the 45. So I want to show you, hey, Ocean, while you're here, if I can get out. I pulled up that tool of yours, but I'm a little confused on how to make it actually work. So I'm glad you're here. I actually set up a window for it, a browser window for it. And we'll look at it together here in a sec, if you don't mind. Right now I'm having a hard time getting out of bed. Well, give me a second. 47 now. Come on, only 3 to 50. There you go. I'll try the AU. Yeah, you can try those for sure, Juan Carlos. I mean, try any server that's gonna get you where you need to be, right? Definitely server hopping is the only thing you can do. Gosh darn it! This bug is out of control. You know, I've had this now several times. What does this thing do? Just lights, maybe? There's no way out of this once you kind of get into it. It's the menu. Keep trying here, I guess, is my main goal. I've tried, Ramoyne, you know, I tried a million things like the first time it happened. Like, I sat there for like a half hour trying to, you know, not like 20 minutes trying to get out. I couldn't do it. So it doesn't, like going prone or nothing worked. The only thing that's worked for me when I get into that state is to hit the menus and get back out. I've been on EU all morning. It's been pretty good. Oh, good, ESR. You type in the 3 closest bodies to you and click calculate. Well, that's the thing, right? I don't see where you click calculate. Let me see if I can go to the Windows browser. See, there it is, right? I don't see the word calculate anywhere on there. That's what I couldn't figure out, is like, where's calculate? But, you know, it's one of those things. Let me just pull it over to this side.
And need support. Contact me for details.
Give me just a sec. I'm trying to get out of bed here. I know I've got you guys looking at this other window thing. Just darn it. Exit the menu again. I'm stuck in bed. I can't. I think I'll just jump servers or whatever. And here, I'll switch back. But you can see, I just don't see calculate there at all. And go back to scene and hit that. All right, so let me try a different. Maybe I'll just go to in a USA server or something. Just try and jump away from the server I'm on. That's like 3 or 4 times in a row I tried to get out of bed and I sprint and it usually works. Okay, well, I'll try and do that, Tookus. I wasn't able to figure out any kind of a healthy way to get out of there. Yeah, I just didn't see calculate anywhere on there. Aocean, and I don't know, maybe I'm not signed in or something. I wasn't sure if it was. Anywho, yes.
Attention, Stanton system. This is a warning.
All right, let's try and.
Any combat pilots willing to provide assistance should contact me immediately.
I'm trying to run, but it's not letting me run. See what I mean, you guys? And then if I try and do stuff like prone or whatever, it doesn't prone. Glow. Like, it's... Like, it allows me to do things like... But I just can't seem to get out of here. Yeah, no, I understand. I wasn't... No, I wasn't holding you accountable for... No, I get what you're saying, for sure. It's just, But I'm just stuck, right? This is I don't... I'm kind of in some, like, this is just happening. It's just, I'll go back to menus again and keep just trying to get back in the game. Like, I've never had it where I've had it, like, 6, 7, 8 times in a row before. It's become kind of a thing. I'll switch to the EU server and see if it, lets me out. No, yeah, no, I got you, man. Calculates automatically. I'm sorry on that one. Gulls is down a pot of coffee. They're away. It's all good. No problem, Ocean. I definitely want to try it out. I can't seem to, like, I definitely can't seem to get it to give me anything. So we'll look at it together as soon as I can get out of the, of course, you show up at the moment. I'm, bouncing servers, and all of a sudden I'm stuck 4 or 5 times trying to get out of bed. That's the first time that's ever happened to me before.
The advocacy. The Navy's requested CDF support against Xenothreat.
Yeah, now I'm out.
I need any available combat pilots to volunteer.
Now, I am on the EU server, so we'll have to see how that goes. Sure. Might have to hold backspace on that one. Yeah, sure. I don't like to kill myself. It's just one of those things. You're not wrong. You're absolutely 1,000% right. It's just, I'm not a kill myself kind of dude. It might be lag. Oh, I'm sure it's lag. We can't get out till it registers with the server. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's something exactly like that. It's okay. We'll just jump on the EU server here, and it seems to let me out. So, all right. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a. I am going to pull the bulldogs off of my prospector really quickly too, because my prospector guns haven't been working. So let's go ahead and take a look here. This is this one here. So vehicle weapons. I'm actually going to unequip these. And then I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to store the ship, and I'm going to put them back on. And that's because they just haven't been working. Caught in an endless suit trying to get out of bed. Yeah. You're not wrong. Be right back. Need to switch back to Linux computer install watching on my Steam Deck too. No problem.
Welcome.
That's awesome,
to
Yoshi.
the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Alrighty, so here we go. I'm going to pull Prospector 1.
Selected. Stand by.
Then I'm going to store Prospector 1. I'm going to put the guns back on
Has
it.
been delivered to the following location.
Because it has been grumpy about
Welcome to the ASOP
having the
vehicle
guns
retrieval
work.
system.
But that could just be a server-related thing, too. So we'll store. With all the probs at the moment, it's worth taking the mold out. Maybe. Maybe not. Definitely it's one of those things, right, Clive, where it's just kind of... it's always worth taking a crack at things, right? I mean, you always want to try. Alright, let's put these back on here. Where are we here? Okay, well, we're good on branch 2, so... Let's go ahead and we'll pull the Prospector now. This server seems a little snappier and happier than the last one I was on. Love how you pronounce it, Lena. Alright, let's see here. Okay, let's pull this guy.
Selected. Stand by.
I see what you're saying, ESR.
Your vehicle has been delivered to
Hangar 2. Let's go ahead and jump up to Hangar 2 and I will get us out of the station, hopefully. And then we'll look at that we're going to look at that tool again as a group collectively, and I'll see if I can figure it out. Back booting up citizen. Nice. Alright, so let's enter the ship. I hate to say it, but it was probably all just the server I was on. Kind of all the things that were kind of acting sideways were just things that kind of cumulatively happen as less and less resources become available and more kind of Xeno threat stuff comes online. It just kind of chips away at things that work. Yep, my Bulldogs are on that time. That's great. I do have the Lancet MH1 and Brantz. We're good there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set.
Thank you.
HRL2 is my route. So here's what I was doing last time. Let me just kind of get up in the air. And I'll show you Aocean here just in a sec. Alright, up we go. Alright, now, it's going to take a sec. I need to toggle. I'm going to toggle onto the other window, you guys. This is definitely kind of a piecemeal kind of a thing that I'm doing, so hang on. I'm going to go to this Windows browser, and then we're going to flip over to here. And I want to make sure it's showing that browser bar. So give me a sec. I want to make sure it is showing that browser bar. And then once it is, let's see. So HURL is 15193.526. So hold on. 15193.527. That's fine. Okay. CRUL3. Oh, nope, it's not showing you that one. So let me hook it back up to there. Let's see if it will. Hey, Bitewell, nice to see you, by the way. I know this is a little different than I do on my stream. I just kind of want to learn how to use this tool. And I want to make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. But I also can't see the chat when I have this like this. So hold on. It's just me kind of getting used to this, the way this is happening. There we go. Wouldn't be so bad if it's actual Xeno. Hi, buddy. Well, nice. So, anyways, so I have the number in the one. A CRUL3. I also have the number in. So if I set that clear and set to CRUL3, I also have that number in, which is like 9,80855. Okay, and then I have in. The distance to ARC-L4 is 0. I mean, I could have a 1 in there, I guess. I don't know if that's the problem. Check the distance of ARC-L4 and HORL2. Check the distances of ARC-L4 and HORL2. Check the distances of ARC-L4. See what let me scroll down here a little bit. See if you guys can see what I'm seeing. I mean, I those are the distances. I just don't understand this tool. All right, so CRUL1 is 9,854. So it's slightly different than that number, but it's that number. Okay. And HURL2, meaning you have to not be near the station. Oh, I see. All right, well, let me just take off towards HURL2 for a second, and I will. I didn't realize, I mean, I just, you know, I mean, I was right next to it, so I just would put a 1 in there, you know. I had a 0 in there. I thought, well, maybe the 0's throwing it off. So I'll just, I will, you know, fly here for, let me just do 1,000,000 or so away. And I don't, I tried. I don't understand how to use the paste command either, Aocean, but it's no big deal. I'm learning. I appreciate you taking the time. Okay, so now I'll take a look at ARC-L4. Just set route to that. And I'll put in that number. Give me a second. You guys can't see in the background. I am flying around and... Alright, so now it's 248, 228. So this is 248. 248, 228. Alright, so, okay. So now, there we go. That's better. So now it wants me to head towards CRUL1. Which is interesting that it would choose that. Why would the dropout distance be that far away? That's strange. Dropout at 37,000. I mean, I don't want to head towards I don't want that to be my quantum target. Can I pick a different one? Gino, can I pick a different quantum target, Aocean? I don't want to go that far. This is crazy. What about, can I go, like, maybe Hurston here? Select the band you want to jump into. Well, isn't it band 5 is the big one, right? Return to Hurston? Oh, okay. Hold on. Return to ARC-L4. CRUL1. That's strange. Return to HURL1. Dropout distance is now 8965. Okay, well, maybe that's better. And sorry, you guys. I just, like I said, I'm trying to learn how to use this tool. And I want to go to band 5, I think. I will try this. I'm going to drop out of 8965. All right, let me switch back to the scene here. There we go. And let me hook the chat back up so I can actually see you guys telling me how silly I am. So, it looks like I have to drop out at 8965. So, we're going to try and drop out at 8965. Take trial and error, but it will send you into the bad on the closest estimate. Yeah, well, that's totally fine. You know, it was more for just understanding how it works and kind of getting through it one time. I didn't know I had to be kind of I was putting like that distance of 1 or 0 from ARC-L4 and it was grumpy about it. I just didn't know if I was doing something wrong. So 8965 is where we're going to drop out at. Or as close to it as we possibly can. And we'll see how it goes. Hey, Ramon, catch you later, sir. Have a lovely day. Thank you for stopping in and spending some time with us. I'll be thinking about you, buddy. I hope that you are doing well. And, I have a short list of people that I cosmically send some love to every so often. And you are definitely on that short list, sir. I hope that you take care of yourself, and we'll see you around the way. So 8965, we've got to get going here. All right, so we're just crossing into the 11.5. So 8.9. Just basically as soon as it says 8.9, I just got to hit it. Here we go. Can you drop a link to that? Yeah, I sure can. Hold on just a sec. All right, 9. Here we go. Really, as soon as it says 9-1, I think I'm going to hit it. So, not bad. I don't know that this is the band I expected to be in, but I don't know that I'm 8965 either. I'm not 8965. So let's go ahead and... It dropped out a little better than I thought it was going to. So let's go ahead and we'll go back up to 8965. So give me just a second, ESR, and as soon as I'm at 8965, I'll... Eight, 9, 7, 6, boom. Hey, much thicker for sure. Look at that. That's kind of fun. They're still drawn in. Okay, let me get you that link. Give me just a sec here. I think it's here. Control C. And I'll pop that into... No, it's here. Control C. And I'll pop that in the chat for you, sir. There you are. And yeah, this was definitely thick with rocks, you know, for sure. So that's cool. Another round of Quantum coffee, Johan. Yeah, you know, I had some extra time today. I normally don't have the, you know, the blessing of being able to go a couple days in a row. And boy, look at how thick we are with rocks here. This is kind of fun. And we're just gonna kind of do what we normally do here and just kind of maybe do a 90 ping out and see where we're at. I like that tool though, Aos, and thank you for sharing it. And it's definitely one that I am going to kind of familiarize myself with. I like the fact that you can be anywhere and then just go right to the halo. That's actually fairly amazing. The location that sends you into these bands is not the end or the exit, but close to the center of each band as possible. That makes a lot of sense to me. It's a great tool. It really is. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. And, you know, it's obviously a helpful reference for all of the people that do mining. And I think you know that's probably why you offered it up as, you know, but yeah, though, I truly appreciate it. I mean, it's a cool thing. All right, there's 17. 17. All right, keep on moving. 90 ping, out we go. Oh, lots of opportunity markers, 3 more. 15,300. Let's see how tight of a... Ooh, that could be Quantanium for sure. Let me just kind of look at these real quick, because they're not going to be 15 threes. That's a 17. Oh, and that's an 8,500. So we do have a couple. Let's go take a look at this guy first, though. Let me go ahead and get a 90 ping on that guy. I'll let Piton know next time I can talk to him. Yeah. Tell you what, I mean, Cornerstone charts hanging on the wall. Yeah, Johan, that's a... Seastone really does some good stuff, too. You're not wrong. All right, there's 13,600. Now, these are not Quantanium, which is too bad. And then it was over more down this way that there was... What is this? Yeah, there's the 8,500. So, yeah, that's not going to be Quantanium at all either, based on the spread of the diamond icons. We'll get a 90 ping on this anyways, just to kind of keep it out in front of us. But these are I would be very shocked if this is Quantanium based on the spread of the Hey, Indigo, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, that's a P-type. That's what I would have not expected that to be Quantanium based on the spread. So we're to rinse and repeat, but a couple of nice clusters there. That's fun. And let's go ahead and lower our velocity a little bit there. Don't going too crazy. There we go. Another 90 ping, and out we go. 17 hundo. Okay, nice distance on that guy right there. 34 hundo. Let's go ahead and Go ahead and I'm going to long scan on that guy. Get me the rock icon. Good. Go ahead and pull back to a 90 ping. Keep the opportunity marker out in front of me. We will approach this guy. There's the old... You always wish that you could kind of get the type ahead of time, but we'll just kind of go on in here and do a visual like we've been doing. These are E-types, so we're going to keep moving. Right, so we got another 3,400 right there. Let's go ahead and do a collapse ping on that. And we'll go ahead and make our rock icon by just doing a long scan on them. If it gave you the type right at that moment, it would be so ideal. Ooh, we were scooting past those guys. And that's okay, because I didn't think they were Quantanium anyways. But I had unfortunately kind of cranked up my velocity to a kind of a crazy point. They're right out in front of us here. Oh, they were Q-types, so I'm glad we're going back to look at them. I blew past these guys. Alright, well, what do we got here? Not going to be a nice rock, 4631. This is going to be a blue cap, a 2%er. And what about this fella? Show me the money. Nope, not a great rock. Kind of a rinse and repeat. So, that's also not a great rock. Let's just keep on moving. Alright, go back to scan mode and 45 ping and see what we got. Nothing directly out in front of us, so we'll roll back to a 90 ping. One opportunity marker there. That's a 17 hundo. We're not going to worry about that. I will open it up to a 180 ping and probably get a few more opportunity markers. Yeah, that's definitely what happens there. There's a 17 hundo. There's a 51 hundo. Of course, we don't approach 5100s. 1700. 1700. 3,400 right there. Let's do a kind of a collapse ping on that guy. All right, we'll just go ahead and scan there and go ahead and pull back to a 90 or a 180 ping. I guess will work just fine. Either way, I'll keep the opportunity marker in front of me. Right, let's go ahead and keep an eye on these guys as we approach. These are Q-types as well, so that's a good sign. Let's go ahead and see if we can get lucky here and find something to mine. We're approaching them now. Just pulled the laser back and just kind of shot it. 4631. This could be a decent rock. It is a 4633. That's definitely worth mining. Is this any better, though? Let's go ahead and take a look. 4931. This is an actual a 30%er. Huh. So 3 times 5 that's almost 30. And that's a 33. You know what? This could be a situation where, well, I don't know. I could definitely break both these and get a unicorn. I don't 100% could do that. Neither one of these two, like this is close, right? It's a 30 times 5. 50 basically that's around 30 SCU. And this one here is around so I'm going to do this. I'm going to break down this one first. I know this is a little crazy, but as long as there's 100%er in here that's a yellow, I'll break that down. and then I'll break down the other rock, and, you know, we'll see. I should be able to, between these two, there's like 50 or 60 SCU here. But yeah, I'll break both. And Clive, this would be one of those moments where you'd be like, aha, you know, if you'd only had the mole, right? Because you wouldn't be wrong. You know, so yeah, I'll break both and get a uni out of this for sure. And we'll leave a lot on the table, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of a working man's, you know, break. I mean, the one over there's got 30 SCU, but it does depend on how clean it breaks. It could break where I only could pull in like 24 SCU and the rest is trash. So you don't know until you break them how it's going to go. So just trying to bump up into overcharge. I went down to 25%. Now I'm down to 19%. It's starting to finally trail off. I'm done. Look at that. It wants to, like, almost at 23%, it almost tried to jump up into the overcharge. It's so weird. Alright, well, that rock's broke. Well, while it's breaking, I guess I'll break this one. I don't know. It's just the nature of things. Oh, here's one of those things, you guys. We were looking at these earlier, right? Where you've got, like, you've got the gem. I'll turn on my light and I'll show you. Kind of got the gem nest on here. I know there's one on there because I seen the gem icon. Ah, there it is, right there. It's right in front of me. See, there's the old gem nest right there with the. That's gonna have that Janolite on it one of these times. You watch, I guarantee it, because it's always a hand mineable. So it does make me wonder. All right, hold on, I want to look and see how this guy broke. By the way. Oof, the Xeno lag. Yes, the Xeno lag is rough. You're not wrong. Yeah, there's 100%er right there. Oh, no, I guess not. It looked like it was going to be. It was a 40%er. What about this guy? Nothing? What about this guy? I'm just kind of... I'm looking for the one that's going to be the hundo, right? That's not going to be it either. So this guy did not break very clean. .81%er. That would be the one I would break, I guess. Yeah, this thing broke into lots of little... Like, you have to break everything up in order to... A couple of those don't... 30... 42... That's 38. I'll break this 80 real quick. That's the one I'll break out of this. That's bound to have... One of them's bound to be 100%er that I can come scoop back up. So that's cool. We'll take it. Well, 9% seems to be holding okay. 6% is hanging right in there. Back up to 8. It's holding right in there. On the low part of the optimal, I do like that. Pulled back to a 6. Back up to an 8. I don't want it to fall out. Into a 10. Alright, cool. Now this other rock is right here. We're just going to go ahead and break this guy down. Let me turn off my laser. My light, there we go. Now we have, you know, hopefully we have a hundo over there when that guy finally decides like it wants to break. 50 likes already today, by the way. Thank you so much for the 50 likes. It's been a good day today. I just was coming out to just do some basic mining. I just thought I would bring you guys along with me, and I appreciate it. We had a great conversation today. I've really had an enjoyable stream so far. Yeah, this having to do a double break here doesn't bother me at all. I think this is a lot of fun. Sometimes this is called the working man's cluster. Sometimes when you have to break down a couple to make it be a you know, a good one. We'll see how clean this rock breaks. 30% is pretty good percentage. Agitated a little bit, and off she went. I can still see a move in there, so that's good. Alright, she's just climbing up into the optimal now. Pretty unstable. Down at 31%. Back up to 50. Back down to 28. Gotta feather it back and forth a lot to just kind of keep it honest. All right. Well, we'll wait for this guy to break. We'll break it up, and then we have the, like I said, there's an extra piece or two over there if we need it. So what do we got here? Let's cross our fingers and hopefully we got some good clean break here. That's 70%, a 1200 at 70%. So that's a lot of it's in there. 678, this is going to have nothing in it. What about this guy here? This is not going to have anything in it either. That's cool. What about this guy? This is also not going to have anything in it. So we're going to have good concentrations in these last two pieces. More than likely 100%ers. Or darn close. Not on this one, so maybe in this one here. This is 1,046 at 55%. Well, that's interesting, right? So we've got a set. Yeah, this did not break up clean at all. That doesn't even seem to. Does that math work out? I guess it probably. It must. I mean, that's 500. There's 10 SCU in there. And then there's 70% of 12, so 714. 24. Yeah, this isn't as much as I would have thought it would have been. It's weird. Is there like one more rock that I don't see? I don't think so. You just got the two, huh? That have stuff in it. Well, there's more opportunities over this way, so it's no big deal. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and we'll break down this guy first. I guess I gave you a hard cluster. No, it's fine. This is a, you know, there's nothing wrong with having to do a little work. Definitely. I really do like being in the thicker band with more rocks. I think that's always fun. And just learning to use that tool, I think, Aoshin, it's a good thing to have. Especially as I'm looking at, like, you know, one of the things that's happening, of course, with 3.19 is all the changes that are coming, you know. So being able to kind of get to the Halo from anywhere that's a really helpful tool. I mean, it really is. Part of a lot of what I'm going to be doing and with the testing in 3.19 is, as we all know, is a lot of it's going to be planetary survey stuff. Like where are things at? Band 5 is the center of the belt. Yes. All right, here comes another break. Okay. thought I already moved it already way down into like the low percentages. There we go. Bit of a rodeo. I haven't fired a second brand yet. I probably will need to if it falls out, but if it doesn't fall out... Good. Alright, well that's fine. I mean, you know, I've got a lot of things to scan here now. That's a 30-some percenter. This just all broke up really crummy. I have that whole other rock I could break up, if necessary. There's a hundo. That's what we're looking for. And that was 3 SCU, by the way. That's definitely not a hundo. Or any good percentage of anything. That's a yucky percentage. There's a hundo. There's a hundo. That's good. And there's a hundo. That's really good. Alright, so we definitely got some hundos there. And there was, you know, some other opportunities to break some of these other ones, too. That's a 14%er. That's yuck. Alright, what about this guy? That's 100% inert. Behind it was nothing. This guy. Another hundo. That's good. Now let's start taking a look at these down here. 80% of this down here. There should be enough hundos down here to help. That's a hundo there. There's a hundo there. Alright, I'm liking where we're at. There's a hundo there. So it must be either this piece. Is this? Yeah. It must be this piece is the one that's got the... That's got, you know, kind of the not Quantanium in it. Yeah, that's the 43%er there. So, alright, well, so let's prioritize these hundos then, right? Alright, so a lot of them are over here.
Extraction mode on.
Start pulling these in here. One thing is, it's nice that the laser's shutting off at the exact time the rock poofs. That really wasn't a thing. On that other server, it was really laggy. Cool. There's another hundo. $15 SCU. That was Garbola. There's another. I know there's one more hundo around here. Oh, what was this guy? I don't remember. I thought we scanned him. Hey, that's a hundo. We'll take it. Pull him on board. We are now crossing 19 SCU. Here's another hundo. Pick this guy up. There's another solid 5 SCU. And all these down here were these 80%ers. So I'm just going to kind of grab the rest of these. These should top me off. I only managed to blow up rocks today. Yo, and I know what you mean, man. It's definitely been that kind of a day. The lag has been for reals. For sure. Hey, look at that, you guys. We're going to do it. Look like we almost are. But there's our last hundo, so we definitely are.
Warning. Storage.
Cool. There's our second unicorn of the day. We'll take it. Gonna go ahead and fire up, and we'll jump out of here to ARC-L4. And actually, I mean, we ended up having to break up two. There's a lot more Quantanium sitting. There's probably another 20 SCU. That probably would have been a good 55 SCU haul or so, had there been a mole around. That would have been a really. It's very rare that when you run into the doublers that both of them have good Quantanium in it, but it does happen from time to time. And that would be, the time when you would make note that the mole would have been, it would have been a good fit for a situation like that. You never know what you're going to run into, though. And that's really the thing. Like, while, thank you, Clive, that it's definitely a unicorn. The one thing I'm so looking forward to being able to create our own markers. Because I honestly would start out my mining day with my Terrapin, going out and trying to find whatever I'm doing that day. Let's say I just got my Terrapin out, I flew to the air in Halo. Oh crap, here's an 890 jump. Mark that thing. Looks like I'm doing salvage today. Boom. Or if I get out there and I'm like, okay, I found a single rock that's got 34 SCU. Okay, perfect to bring my, I'll mark that spot and I will go grab my prospector. And there's nothing wrong with using the prospectors that ship or whatever. 2 VAUX-C3s Brant, yeah. I like also, Johan, 2 VAUX-C3s and 1 Rieger C3. Like, so yeah, I mean, easy, easy peasy. That's a setup I like when I normally will have 1 prospector will be set up with 2 Brants and 1 FLTR-XL. And the other one I will normally have set up with 2 VAUX-C3s and 1 Rieger C3. Just whatever my mood is that day. But, we're into the antiquity of this stuff, right? Because we know all the changes are coming. So it's hard to say how they're, I would have loved to have had, to have been in Evocati this weekend and been testing like crazy. The one thing I will say, it's probably best to keep me out of, the Evocati in a way, because, the end, I'd want to spill the beans, which increases the optimum. There's one called the Optimum that does that. That one actually increases the optimal zone, believe it or not. That one's really good at it. Also, I think the VAUX-C3s or the VAUX-C3s bring down instability. I think the Rieger C3 is the one that increases the window a little bit as well. So there's a couple different ones that do it, but the Optimum is the one that has charges that makes the green much wider. So, and those are a nice one to have, especially if you're doing the Surge Stampede. Sometimes the Surge Stampede Optimum is a good, is a good magic combo. Oh, do I not have that second place marked? I guess I didn't. There we go. So we will definitely hear first alarm before we land here. I tried to mitigate the issues with desync, and the VAUX did help with that, yes. And it would. We will absolutely hear first alarm before we are going to third person to land our ship.
Quantum travel complete.
Alright, I'll already drop my gear and my VTOLs. We're going to come in on a rail at around 400 or so. And bring it in at a pretty healthy clip. Alright, beautiful. We're making excellent time. Sometime in the next 30 seconds, we should hear first alarm go off. That's just me. That's a guesstimate, but I have a feeling.
Landing complete.
Done this a few times. I'm going to go ahead and call for landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Cool. All right, we're going to go to third person, so we got lucky there. We haven't heard first alarm yet. And we're just going to go ahead and bring this guy in for a landing. Beautiful. I really like coming in on this angle. Like I generally hit the you know the ass end of my ship a lot less on the lip there, because just it's a weird perspective. All right, it should be a nice easy peasy touchdown landing. There we go. Beautiful. Indigo says, hey, I made a comment. I don't need Brants before I tried 318.2. I mined the other day and Brants would have helped, and how much higher the instant. Well, that's the thing, right? You're not wrong, Indigo. There's been some kind of a change inside the optimal window. Like things are it's a lot more volatile. It's a lot more unstable inside the optimal window than it used to be. You also need much less percentages. Like, you know, it was never the fact that where you had to, like 2% would hold, you know, you toggle between 2% and 0 to, you know, to hold an optimal. That's new. That kind of changed somewhere in 3.18.1-ish. All of a sudden, I actually think when the first 3.18 came out, you just kind of started noticing there was something wonky going on where you needed a much less power. And I'm sure it had to do with some back-end change, universal global change they had made in preparation for the upcoming mining change. But you definitely need to focus on second break because it is much more touchy in the optimal window than it used to be. And there's no question that some of it is server instability, but I can tell you there's been a fundamental change inside the optimal window on basic percentages that you need. Like I said, from a mass rock that's like 500 or something, you never needed a lot of power, but you never toggled between 2% and 0 to keep it in the optimal either. You know, 2% or 3%, it's racing towards the overcharge, and you're just kind of turning off the laser to cool it off. You know, kind of that's a little different than it used to be, for sure. So I never had to turn exactly. I mean, it's just different the way that it works. If you've done enough mining, you definitely know that there's something. It's not, and it's okay. It's manageable. It's absolutely manageable. But those Brants really do soften the situation. The other reason I lean on the Brants and Indigo is because when I look at the chat, I could lose all sorts of time. It's so quick that things can get sideways. Just because you're kind of multitasking. So let's talk about numbers, guys, because this has been a very solid day. So I'm going to pull up a calculator here. Let's take a look here. Calc it out. We have done 2 unicorns today. So 3040 plus 3040. And then we had 2 other runs today. One of them was a 1995, 995. And the other one was a 1982. Good year. Little Devo for the team. 1982. That's 10,000. And that's 100 SCU. Is basically 10,000 in 57 units, or 100 SCU we've hauled in today. So if we were to take that and 10057, and we times that by 88, we are looking at 885,000 we did on streams. Yes, before I was probably 1/3 on the power of smaller rocks. Now it's around single digits of power. Your streams helped me realize this. Yeah, it's just a difference. type of thing. Why am I doing that? What the heck? That's funny. Okay, let's wrap it around here. So I have some teriyaki, pineapple teriyaki shish kebab to go make for my daughter's birthday party. So I just wanted to thank you guys. I really wasn't planning on streaming today, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go do some mining today. I'm just going to throw on the stream and see if anybody shows up in chat. So today was great. We did over 100 SEU of Quantanium. A little bit of server things. We had the, Star Citizen did Star Citizen things, and we just kind of still kept our foot on the gas and kept working through it. Right now, I've got a couple of 100 SEU in the hopper. So with that in mind, I've got another 1.6 or so in the hopper, and I've got about 2.59, 2.6. So we're getting close to C2. We're getting there for sure. So anyways, I just wanted to wish you all an absolutely happy Sunday. I hope that you're all doing well. Definitely pay attention to the channel when 319 goes to wave 1. Because I'm going to be digging in. Aocean, thank you so much for that tool. I really appreciate you kind of hanging with me and making sure I understood how to use it. I truly appreciate that. Humble Monk, it was great seeing you. Chris, take care of yourself, man. I can't wait till you're in game. Clive, you and I have a date with a mole some point where you're the captain and I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to be a mole mining laser operator with operating a mining laser in one hand and a beer in the other, brother. That's going to happen sometime soon, Clive. I'm going to catch up with you. We're going to do that. Johan, take care of yourself. You guys are what make this stream what it is, truly. I love that you guys come and hang out. I'm so blessed that you guys do that. Serpentall, please take care of yourself. You guys have a lovely day, and I will see you all